downgraded, and hello to you, Rossi.
I was going to say, how'd you get your hair cut?
Well, I got my hair cut before I went into lockdown.
Well, it looks fresh to me.
No, you can see at the back here. No, I tell you, you're not. It's quite
serious. Did you get
serious.
the care package that we sent you, Howard?
No, that must still be on the way. That must still be on the way. But it was harder than I anticipated, not being able to leave your front gate. But a lot of the country is in a similar situation, so we won't worry about that. We'll get on to the footy and the Olympics. I want to get your thoughts on the Olympics as well. The Super Coach is here. Hello, Ross.
Hello, Howard. Yeah, favourite part of the week, the Sunday rub.
Good.
Being a part-time media person gives me a lift.
And how are your little family going? They're doing homeschooling, etc. How's that going?
Struggling in lockdown. They said, it's harder than you think, Dad. So worry about their mental health a little bit. I tend to be a bit suck it up. Buttercup, and they've pushed back a little bit on that. So
to be honest, that's how we started the 14 days. Like, we'll cruise through this, and got to about day 3, and it was like, this is a little bit harder than you anticipate for the family, for your wife, for yourself, for your kids. But I tell you what, as I mentioned, a massive team. If this man at some stage chooses to put his headphones on, we can introduce him to the show. Now he's just shaking his head. Apparently Brian doesn't do pre-game.
Strong operator, I like it.
He needs to, because I want to get his thoughts on the Olympics and the football. He's just giving me, I'll come to air later.
The Iron Curtain, the borders drop.
Well, at some stage you'll put the headphones on and entertain us all. Duck, I got up this morning. I've been watching a lot of Olympics, and today I had the multi-screen. They're doing a fantastic job on Channel 7. We've won a bronze and now a silver in the men's 400 free and a bronze in the IM medley. So well done to Jack McLaughlin, finishing behind the Tunisian. But I sat there with the screens everywhere. I was watching surfing, I was watching skateboarding, and I am loving the new Olympic sports stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
The new Olympic sports?
Yeah, the new ones.
Some I'm not sold on yet, Howie, but it'll take time. I'm loving the Olympics. I haven't got home the other night, Friday night, and watched the opening ceremony, and love Bruce McAvaney.
How good's Macca?
And Hamish. You know what? And some people... I thought the information, some of the countries, by the way, I'd never heard of, but just the information that they gave us, I thought it was fantastic. And given that there was no crowd, I really enjoyed it.
Couldn't agree more. What do you think, Ross? Because obviously, the Olympics, it's a changing environment, so they need to engage the youth to continue the interest in the Olympics moving forward. Hence skateboarding, hence surfing, hence BMX in the last couple of Olympics, hence rock climbing this time. Are you an embracer of these new sports?
Well, I actually like it. So who would have thought the Olympic movement would be a progressive movement and include those sports?
Exactly right.
And I think AFL football, there's been a lot come out of COVID, the nimbleness with the fixture and shorter games. But there's some, we must bounce the ball, but it's killing up. There's some things that we can... progressively move in our game. If the Olympics can do it, we should follow suit.
I'd love to get Brian's thoughts on these new sports, but still, the big man beside me is refusing. He just doesn't put his headset on.
BT wants the Olympic Committee to bring back tug-of-war.
Does he?
Because
he's a bit old school.
Once upon a time, tug-of-war was an Olympic sport.
Here we go. Welcome to Brian Taylor on a Sunday. Hello, Brian. Lovely to see you.
Jeez, you're loud.
Well, we're normally up on a Sunday. Are you an Olympic embracer?
The Olympics
take that as a no.
Are slowly dying.
Do you think so?
They're not dead yet, and they're going well this year. But I think they're dying.
Why?
I just think we get so much good sport on TV.
We do.
All of the other sports. It's no longer the top in a lot of the sports. And I think the Olympics has always been the pinnacle of particular sports. So, for instance, there are a couple of sports in there where you can go and watch, perhaps basketball that's better. I do like the fact that Europe and US and the rest of the world comes together in basketball, and it's slightly different, but I just like watching the best, and I look at 3-on-3 basketball and go, why is that in instead of, say, netball?
You're a man that likes to watch your surfing, though. Are you happy with surfing coming into the... Right, okay.
Because this is not the pinnacle for surfers.
Okay.
Well, let's hope
that's a good point. You often look at it, you think, right, do the golfers prefer to win Olympic gold medal or a Masters? They probably choose the Masters. So that's often a defining point.
But then again, you've got Ash Barty, who's just won Wimbledon.
Yes.
And now is going for a gold medal, obviously. So not everyone thinks the same.
Well, let's hope it dies after 2033, though. 2030.
Yeah, so we'll get through to Brisbane.
There'll be
we'll
some flat
fine there.
people in Brisbane.
But Ash Barty's pinnacle is Wimbledon or the US.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you think if she wins gold, Wimbledon would still be above?
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, they spoke about, someone was talking about it, make it the fifth major in the tennis. Make it, go down that path. But the Olympic movement were like, we're bigger than a major.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that.
Brian, the other thing I want to ask you about being one of the preeminent, if not the preeminent sports broadcaster in the country. When I'm watching the surfing and the skateboarding, I'm enjoying the enthusiasm of the commentary. There's a lot of sort of rad, hip-hop, jive sort of cool cats there in commentary, which is different to what we typically get, Brian.
Yeah, I watched the skateboarding this morning as well. I didn't think they were great, the guys there. But,
probably the surfing, Howie. It's not great surf, is it?
Well, that's the problem. There is a typhoon building off the coast, but no, I don't know why they didn't build a wave pool.
Surfing what?
It looked like the little kids.
Yeah.
Little kids sort of thing.
So build a wave pool like Kelly built at his ranch in California. And
we got one out at Tullamarine.
It is surprising they don't have one in Japan.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get on to the footy. We are leading up. We'll speak about the Blues in the second break. But David Mundy. Now, Ross, you came in here and today you said, I can't wait to see David Mundy play his 350 game. You were all over the situation.
I've been building it up all week. Footy classified, gave it a pump up. You're quite brilliant. And I was quoted, like sometimes you're a bit off the cuff, the second greatest stocker ever. So I don't want to get into the Nat 5. He's pretty special. But the longevity, when you're doing the flying, it's basically 4 hours over, 4 hours back every second week for, what's he done it for, 16 years or whatever it is. It's an incredible effort because it is draining. It is draining. And he hasn't had many injuries. When we fell off the cliff, we thought, you know what? We looked at Mitchell and Hodge, go to half-back. He started as a half-back. And we said, David, look, we're just going to put you half-back, give some of the kids, just change it up, extend your career. And anyway, he voted with his performance. He became a goal machine again. So he didn't want to be there. And I was like, well, okay. So then we put him deep forward. He came out like Tony Modric. He could really won those games against Richmond. But ultimately, he's a great midfielder. And what they've done really well, I think he only plays about 50% game time. So he's a real birth repeat athlete, and they've used him. And if he can keep playing 50%, he could go on for another 2 or 3 years. He's an exquisite ball user and a quality person on and off.
Estimated, I saw on social media, Rabsy, our man, just showed us, he's flown 860,000 kilometres in his football career, Brian, which is to the moon and
500,000.
back. So it's to the moon and back, basically. Tell us a story about David Mundy that will go, that's why he's able to achieve what he does.
Well, that's it. Look, I never saw him when I first got there as a great preparer, to be honest. I was like, I didn't see him in the top echelon, but that was 2012, and I think he just continued. As you get older, you realise you got to do more, like Boke's spoken about. So every year he's just added another layer of his professionalism. But I think when you lead that healthy lifestyle, there's a few that knock themselves around off field, like hard. But, he's been married to the lovely Sally, he's got his kids, he's very conservative.
What would he do for a job, Ross, if he wasn't playing football?
It's a great point, Brian. What turn he's a marine biologist, but he's really interested in football administration, so snout in the trough, although things are tightened up.
So I would have, if I don't know him at all, I would have thought he would have been a brickie.
No, well, he's from Seymour, so... so...
A renowned area for marine biologists, Seymour.
Well, he's got the Coral Bay in Western Australia.
They've got the pool up there with all the fungus in it.
True. When you hear the term marine biologist, what's the first thing you think of? You might not be on the same page as me here.
Flipper.
Very intelligent.
Right.
Yeah, I think of Flipper.
I think of George Costanza. Costanza in Seinfeld. And I looked into the eye of the great fish. You mean mammal? One of the great episodes. Good luck to David Mundy today. How do you think they're going overall, Freo?
Oh, they were disappointing last week. There's no doubt about it. Look, they've had some bad luck with injury. I thought they would have moved the needle a little bit more than they have. There's just sometimes you think, they're getting there, then they fail. Like Geelong are a really good team, so they've got some weaknesses in the game. Brayshaw's really popped. Sarong's going to be a star. It's great to see their ins today. Some young players. So Young comes back. He's a star off half-back. They get Tabernar back in and Meek. But look, I think their best is good enough. They're inconsistent. Maybe that's as a young team. But, look, they get the most marks taken against in their D50, so that's a real concern. And playing Sydney, who are number one at efficiency inside 50, so that's a bit of a concern. And I think there's still a little bit of over-reliance on Mundy and Fife to play great footy to get them across the line. But there's no shame in that because that's what they're paid to do. But some great young players. They just need to add more talent. I think when you're analysing coaches and clubs, there's not enough, even say the Perth media, like they'll terrorise Simpson or me or whatever, but they don't put enough focus into the lifeblood of the club, which is the recruiting. So if you dive into that, it's not until you get that right, like the draftees and that your club really pops. And they've made some good decisions lately with Young and Brayshaw and those guys.
All right, we will, after the break, we'll have a chat about the Blues and the Kangaroos, Duck. You and Brian were there yesterday. But, Brian, you came in here today. It's your 4th game for the weekend. So, due to the Olympic situation where various callers are elsewhere, how are you finding calling that much football? There's different combinations for you. It's a bit of a challenge, I would imagine.
Question, Howie,
well, it's not. People are interested.
I'm loving seeing as many games as I can, especially this time of the year. I think the thing for any of us involved in the game, the more footy you see, the more on top of it you are as you head towards the important part of the year. Better you know the players, the ins and outs. Better you can pick what's going to happen. So it's just it all goes in the memory bank. And like Fremantle, I've seen a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. Haven't seen a lot of them for the year, but just getting to know them again. It's important to stay in touch with them.
Are you locked in as the grand final caller? How does that work?
No, that doesn't work that way, Howie.
Does it not? So when do you find out?
You earn that.
Right.
It's like a spot in the team. You earn it.
Right.
And you get told accordingly as the weeks progress into the year.
So who's the major competition?
So Duck could be in, he could be out. I could be in, could be out.
Well, traditionally, it's been the Friday night team, Howie.
Oh, so Duck's got a slightly different view to what you have, Brian. He thinks it's a pretty much lay down.
Who is the Friday night?
Well, the last 8 years I've been working.
Well, I like to feel that I earn it.
Right. Duck might have a different.
Have you got it written into your contract, Duck?
No, not at all.
The smart operators. Howie has it written in.
Unlike Brian, I just do what I'm told.
Sounds like you've got it written in.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, I've never done a grand final, Ross. I've never had the fortune to call a grand final.
I've had a couple. I just haven't won one, Howie.
What about Triple M? Have you not called it?
No, haven't ever called a grand final on Triple M.
Jeez, I'd be doing something about that.
Well, let's, yeah.
Well, Das normally calls it with Jim.
Yeah.
But then I guess, Jim might be calling with you, but we'll see. It'll all play out.
It'll all play out, and we'll get told in due time.
And the Two Man will join us soon, and he will keep you up to date around the grounds in the Olympics. He did some fine work on the opening ceremony.
What is on today?
There's got a bit of bounce in his step.
What's the number one thing on today that we need to look for?
The women's 4x100 freestyle relay, Brian. We are the world record holders. We're the fastest qualifiers.
And then tonight, the basketball.
Tonight, we take on Nigeria, do we?
Yes.
Well, you're our basketball man. How are we shaping up against the Nigerians? We just knocked them off, didn't we?
We beat them in a practice game, but we didn't play anywhere near our best side, and they probably didn't either. And they beat the US, so they're pretty good. They're one of those sides that they're a bit of a Hollywood side, a bit of a magical sort of basketball side, and it can come off or it can look really ugly.
Harlem Globetrotter style.
Yeah. As a young basketballer growing up in West Australia, Brian, was it ever a thought for you that you could potentially don the green and gold and represent your country at the Olympics?
Yeah, shot put.
No, he's a fine basketballer, Brian.
I would have represented Australia, I think. Some level.
You chose football.
Well, you asked.
No, I know, and it's a good, honest answer.
I was going well. For the state, and
well, what you got to remember?
I was the leading scorer at the national championship.
When Brian was 10, he probably thought of the green and gold. But remembering when he was 10, he was 100 kilos,
6'4",
and had a mustache and a beard.
I was a late bloomer.
And as for yourself, Duck, we know that you're the world's best footballer, the world's best firelighter, the world's best special comments man. What Olympic sport do you think, if you hadn't taken the football path, that you probably would have represented Australia in?
Nah, none, Howie.
None?
No.
Nothing?
No. But probably... No.
Say it.
What did you say?
Say it.
Coits or something?
No,
don't say it.
Go on, say it.
No, Howie, none.
Okay. We might take a break.
I'll tell you what I do, love.
Oh, hang on.
How about
the boxing?
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to, really looking forward to, and that is the women's sevens. We're the reigning gold medalists.
Yep.
And exciting, because it's a free-flowing game. I'm really looking forward to that. When does that start?
That will probably start on...
You're our...
Chill tell us.
I thought you were talking about rowing.
Day 3 or day 4. Hey, we're going to take a...
finished, Duck.
Quick break. We'll get to the Carlton and Kangaroos game after break, which I know the majority of the box was at yesterday. Time now to have a chat to our good mate Jared Timms from our sponsor at Ned's. Hello, Timsy.
Thanks, Howie. G'day, punters. Well, it's definitely a tale of two cities today, but to be expected. Of course, the Swans have gone up very firm, $1.35 favourites here at Neds. Maybe some value on offer for the Freo fans this afternoon, $3.25, and the line has been set at a little over 3 majors, 19.5 points. Let's have a look at our market for the first goal. As expected, there are a lot of Swans prominent. As he often is, Buddy Franklin is our $7.50 favourite. He leads Matthew Taverner, $8.50. Double figures and longer on offer for everyone else here. Tom Papley, $10. Will Hayward, $12. Sam Reid and Isaac Heaney, $13. Don't forget the Nets Same Game Multi is available on every AFL game this season, and you can pump up your odds by combining selections from some of your favourite markets. Today's popular Same Game Multi combines the Swans covering the line with Buddy booting the first major of the afternoon, and over 160.5 total match points for odds of $18.76. That's it from me this afternoon, punters. Enjoy the game, take it to the Nets level. If you're having a bet, always remember to gamble responsibly.
On your Timsy, thank you very much. Take a quick break here. We'll keep you across all the news in the world of footy, the Olympics, as we lead up to Sydney taking on Fremantle. David Mundy playing game number 350. The two men not too far away. McDonald's and Remo Water. Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Preview. Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M's your home of rock, sport and comedy. Now with Marty Sheargold for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
So swirls.
We have had so many messages asking what Your Maya spelling out. They're spelling out the word radio.
I thought that was pretty self-evident.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, I had to ask you guys.
Oh, my God, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, when you know it's very obvious.
Yeah, rightio, I'm the villain.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Get the podcast now from the Listener app.
Ned's Blended. Pick multiple runners to win in the same race and get special blended odds. If any of your selections win, you win. Available on all three codes. Take it to the Ned's level. Minimum blended odds $1.10. Gamble responsibly.
It's evening time in the Wiggle House. The new grey Wiggle, Simon Cowell, is ordering dinner.
Tonight, I'll be eating fruit salad with the band.
Yeah! Great idea. Let's sing the song.
What song?
Order with Uber Eats tonight.
A COVID-19 vaccine is your best defence and our only way forward. Now's the time to arm yourself, your family, your friends, your workmates, your community, someone you love. Find out when you can arm yourself and book your vaccination. Go to australia.gov.au or call 1800 020 080. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
COVID-19 is still with us, and life remains full of unknowns. But what is certain is there's help for people who need it. If you or your business are in financial difficulty, don't tough it out on your own. Talk to your bank. There's help with business loan repayments, refunds for merchant terminal fees, support for people with a home loan, increased customer support, and special assistance for those in financial hardship. Your bank will help you find a way through.
Sheen Panel Service. How to smash but you don't want to leave your house? As an essential service, Sheen Panel Service is open. We're continuing to service the local community and are offering free pickup and delivery. Your car and our replacement vehicles will be delivered to you fully sanitised. Sheen also offers contactless quotes in-store. Just call us on arrival at one of our 26 locations. For more information, call 1300 Repair. T's and C's apply. Sheen Panel Service.
This year, Sexpo is different.
It's about education
and exploration.
Now get the handcuffs and the whip.
And having loads of fun in a safe environment.
Find yourself at Melbourne Sexpo. Limited tickets. Book now at sexpo.com.au.
Ned's Blended. Pick multiple runners to win in the same race and get special blended odds. If any of your selections win, you win. Available on all three codes. Take it to the Ned's level. Minimum blended odds $1.10. Gamble responsibly.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi there, it's Pip Mooney with your news briefing. The signs are looking positive for Victoria to exit lockdown on Tuesday at midnight as planned. All 11 new local cases today are linked and each were already in isolation. Premier Daniel Andrews says the trend is doing what they hoped it would, but it's still too early to make a call.
There is still a couple of days to go, and as we know, we saw with an apartment block yesterday, the day before, things can change. This is fast moving, it can be quite dynamic, and you can be thrown off course.
In New South Wales, the prospect of their lockdown ending anytime soon has been dashed, with 2 deaths and 141 new local cases overnight. A woman in her late 30s and another in her 70s, the latest victims of the Delta outbreak there. Premier Gladys Berejiklian says 2 families are grieving.
I wanted to also extend my condolences to 2 families who are grieving today. We had 2 deaths overnight.
a woman in her 70s, but also a woman in her 30s with no pre-existing conditions. So if anybody thinks this is a disease just affecting older people, please think again.
Australia's made a deal for an extra 85 million doses of Pfizer to land on our shores from February. They'll be used as booster shots. And a 22-year-old man has handed himself into police, wanted over a fatal crash at Burwood last week. The Reservoir man is now under police guard in hospital for the injuries he sustained in the crash.
Looking for a change? Go all in on the Volkswagen T-Cross 85 TSI Live from $29,990 drive away. Conditions and exclusions apply. Visit volkswagen.com.au.
Showers increasing, partly cloudy with gusty winds and possible small hail. Tomorrow, more rain on the way with a top of 16 degrees. And a stream every minute of the footy live this weekend wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M Melbourne 105.1.
At HCF, we define success differently. It's getting the support you need to cut back on drinking when you've decided it's time. That's why HCF provides personalised care plans and health coaches through the Daybreak app, so you can change your relationship with alcohol. As Australia's largest not-for-profit health fund, we define success by the well-being of our members, because uncommon care is our bottom line. Join HCF today on 13 13 34.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
8 minutes time till Sydney takes on Fremantle from Metricon Stadium. We'll speak to Belinda Mellon on the boundary shortly. For Bob Jane T-Mart to get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free instant cashback at bobjane.com.au. Brian, you and Wayne were both at Marvel Stadium yesterday. The Kangaroos were absolutely fantastic, though. A little bit of pressure will come on the Blues, no doubt. This is what their coach had to say after they were belted yesterday by the Roo Boys.
I have absolute belief in this group. I think there's a lot more. I think we've seen some growth over the last period, and today was really disappointing because it didn't follow that trend. So that hurts. That hurts the playing group, the coaching staff, our fans. That we didn't continue. But over the longer journey and where we're going, I have absolute belief in the group. I have belief in the people we have at our footy club that will take us forward. So. If the question is, do I have belief? Absolutely, and I'll keep saying it. We've got some work to do. We're not good enough yet, clearly, and that's why we're not playing finals. But going forward, this group will play finals. I'm very confident of that.
Interesting, isn't it? Because I reckon their last 3 weeks, how we've been against bottom teams, and Freo, the exception there, because they've played some really good footy. But yesterday, and look, this team for me. I had playing finals footy this year, and they haven't been able to do that. So, for me, it's a massive fail for the Blues fans this year, and everyone involved. And I think I might have had them in the finals a year before as well.
So, Duck, they're on 7 wins at the moment. They won 7 last year.
Yeah.
They've still
So you expected improvement, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So they've got St Kilda, Gold Coast, Port, and GWS to come.
Well, the way they played yesterday, they won't win any of those.
Right. So it's hard to argue what we saw yesterday. Well, we like, Ross, as you know, to look at the positives on this show. And Two-Man wants us to
let's
talk
look
about
at North.
That's exactly what I'm about to say.
Their ball movement, like what they did out of there, which talks to Carlton's lack of team defence, but that's been a weakness all year. I think they kicked 8 goals out of their D50 to the forward 50. Now, they're not a quick ball-moving team. They control it, build it up, try and probe, but they got through really easy. We talk about growth. I think Kane Turner's gone to the back pocket. We're talking about Chu. He's put the small forward to sleep. I think he put Eddie Betts to sleep, didn't he? I think Eddie had 2 touches.
Scoreless.
Uniacke was a bit better. I was disappointed with him last week. But, gee, Thomas is a beautiful player. He's just a star of the competition. I'd love him, beautiful.
Smooth.
As he gets more robust, he's in the... Not Bonton, but that size, inside, outside, really good. Simpkins, a good player. I think, he's carrying the burden goals, and there's some growth, Like Stevenson's a turnaround story. Like, I was off him not as a person, but he's non-competing last year. When Collingwood were picking every week, they were sending a message, well, you can not compete and we're going to pick you. So he clearly... What's disappointing is clubs, you let those guys go sometimes because you have to, right? They experience their footy mortality. Oh, this is the end. Then they get their act together. So that's the maturity piece. That's the frustrating bit for clubs. And we've all probably experienced it ourselves and seen it. So, look, he's a great turnaround story. Nobles level them out. They see composed. They're structuring up their footy department, splitting the football operations role. There's a lot going right there. They're shifting the needle in the right way.
And when you consider that they turned the ball over a lot in the first half, North, didn't they? And if they had been on top of it like they were in the second half, it may have been
18 clangers.
Yeah,
18 clangers in the first half, two in the second half.
Yep.
And so was that pressure dropped away, or the skill level improved? Which was it?
It was a bit of both.
Yeah,
bit of both. Carlton's pressure was almost non-existent.
And just Larky, we've got two big forwards in the room. I know you're both impressed by him. Brian, how good could this young man be? Kicked 7 yesterday. They were called a breakout game. I think he's kicked multiple goals various times this year. Just sort of leads, marks and kicks goals.
He got on the end of some magnificent kicks. He led up well and marked a couple on the lead, but the ones I was impressed with where he had to go back and the flight of the ball had to be balanced beautifully and taken over the top of the hands. So some of the kicking skills to him yesterday I thought were fantastic. I can remember 3 that he got that were over the top because of the kicker's skill in just getting it over the top. He looked impressive. Zurha was a little bit down yesterday.
Yeah, had the shoulder.
Yeah.
He kept fighting with the shoulder.
Yep.
Olak was interesting. Did he do much? I didn't see.
Well, he was the medical
sub, yeah.
But even when he was activated, I forget who got injured, he was activated in the last quarter. And I had the goggles on him for a good portion while he was being activated. And I've got to say, he did not want to play.
The body language wasn't good.
Oh, really?
In what respect?
You could tell he just didn't want to go out there. He's sitting on the bench. He didn't warm up in any way. He sat there and, if I was the coach, I would have been absolutely furious with him. To not have the get up and go and, hey, the team's going well, jump in and join in the party,
Yeah, it's a bad sign, isn't it?
Yeah, it was not good.
Sometimes you've got to own where you're at. You can blame everyone else, but at the end of the day, for his level of talent and they target him, and I know he's on good contract, there's still time to turn it around, son.
Yep.
You can dig in here and finish off.
Well, you look at Josh Shackey last night, who, you could say is probably not in their best 22, but all of a sudden he gets this chance in this strange position for him, which they've been trialling him in a couple of other games, and he makes the most of it. Now they've got a decision. Do they continue with that? Because he was so impressive. Do they continue with him in that position, or do they let it go?
Yeah. And to your point, he grabs the opportunity. Keith goes out with the hammy.
Yep.
And he's in there. Who knows? You might be there in a grand final, son. I think Joel Hamlin played in the Premiership. I think he played 4 games for the year, Joel, and just got in at the right time with the team playing good footy.
All right, we'll turn our attention to this game at Metricon Stadium, Sydney versus Fremantle. Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda Mellon is there. G'day, B. How you going?
Hello, gentlemen. I am fabulous. Thank you. What a gorgeous day it is here. 22 degrees. The sun is shining. And I do feel very privileged to be here to witness David Mundy's 350th. Something to watch out for, though, boys, that you cannot see when you look at the ground. There are actually gale force winds happening here on the Gold Coast. The only place you will notice it is at the northern end. That will be the left of your radio speaker. But the winds are gusting up to 90 k's an hour. So keep an eye on that for goal kicking towards that northern end.
So where's the wind blowing from, B? Is it coming from which direction?
So it's a winter westerly that we have here commonly in Queensland, so that will blow from behind the commentary box, so as towards the coast.
So can I just ask, Belinda, I know I'm cutting you, but is it across the ground or it's straight down the ground at one end?
No, it's across the ground, so it will mess with their accuracy when kicking a goal. It won't get behind them at all unless they're kicking out of defence, but it will really mess with the goal kicking across the ground. And because it's gusting, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So it'll be fluky. There's also whispers of a late change down here on the boundary. The AFL champion data and the AFL umpires are just furiously working at their iPads. The whisper is that Tracy is out with a very, very late injury. 10 minutes ago, we were told that the side was unchanged, so I'm just trying to confirm that. Ash Chua may have more idea than I do because he normally does. He's a brilliant man.
I just saw him in the warm-up like a minute ago, Ash, Tracy. He was still warming up with the team, so unless that's happened in the last minute or two, he was definitely warming up a very short while ago that I saw.
Yep. So it is just whispers, and it is happening in front of me right now. So confirmation will come through, or maybe not, but Ash can probably tell you more. The medical subs at the moment, as we know, for Sydney, they are Hayden McLean, and for Fremantle, they are Connor Blakely, unless, of course, that has changed. Time will tell.
Thank you,
calling, gentlemen.
Well done. I was focused on the wind duck. Wesley is offshore on the coast up there, so it's just sort of more about what it was going to be doing to the surf.
So is that pushing the wave up?
Perfect, Rossi. You could get Shaq deep, Rossi. Deep
the
in
green room.
Yes. You can be well and truly in the room. Hey, Duck, I always get excited now when I get to call the Swans, as I'm sure we all do, because they're an exciting footy team your mate Old Horse has got rolling out.
They are, and I actually wrote about them on Friday.
I read the article, Duck.
They've got X Factor. That's what they've got. You know what? They've got their experienced guys, Kennedy, Parker, Franklin, all of these, Rampy. So that's your top end, and they haven't had any drop-off. Buddy's building. But then it's that middle rung player, the Dawsons and these guys, Dawson, Mills, Florent, Hayward, all of those guys have stepped up, so they've gone to the next level. Heaney's got X Factor, another one of those guys that's got a little bit of that. Yeah. Dawson is a very, very good player. He's gone to a whole new level, really good off half-back and kicks goals as well. So I'm loving what Sydney's doing.
And the X Factor's the system.
Yep.
Number one for efficiency and scoring in the AFL. They moved, I think their system, they move the ball quickly, but they draw the defence up to them, they get rid of the depth, and then they go into one-on-ones. They've won equal number one quarters in the AFL, so they're capable. 42 quarters, as much as anyone.
Yeah.
Hey, B, it looks like you were all over the situation. Well done. Give us an update.
Yes, Josh Tracy is out, Mitch Crowden is in, and it's David Mundy starting the game on the bench.
What?
All right.
I know. Can you believe it's been a big week. Contract extension, birthday, 350. Maybe he's a bit weary. Who knows?
Well, that's to do with what Ross said before about he's not playing big parts of the game these days. Maybe just over 50%.
That's a big out, Tracy. He's your big old-fashioned full forward, Brian, isn't he?
Went back as well last week, so he can do it both ends. So we're ready to go here. Metricon Stadium. Home game here for Sydney, taking on the Fremantle Dockers. Umpire Hayden Gavine, Matt Nichols and John Howarth. Out of the middle we go. Little kick here by Sarong. You heard the umpire's call, exclusively Mike for Triple M football. Little opportunity, squeeze the handball here to Fife. Fife, a neat kick, finds Walters on the lead. About 70 from the goal square. Walters, little one deep into the pocket. High ball, McCartan able to swat it away. And I've got to say, Belinda, a reasonable crowd in there. A few people in today.
Yeah, they like to seem to gather at the southern end, so it actually looks a little bit deceptive when you watch it on the monitor. That looks like there's more people than there really are. If I look across from me, there's donuts.
Well, in relation to the Tokyo crowds, it's massive, but it's not really the bar, be fair to say. So the Swans across the half-back line through Kennedy. Now Blakey can't get a handle on the footy. Here comes Parker. Fife got one high. Umpire said continue now. Brayshaw. A little bit of room now. Aish looking to hit a target. He's got options everywhere. He ignored one, went forward towards Schultz, bounces off his chest. Schultz gets up rather too easily, snaps the first goal of the afternoon. Touched. Banfield was all on his own, but it's the opening score of the match. There's going to be a quick review. Let's have a listen.
Score review. Umpire's call is touch. Please confirm. I have to review it.
Review underway.
Why do they have to review it?
It doesn't have to review it.
It looks pretty touched on the Harvey Norman replay. Purchase for 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman and receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. We'll go to the arc. And indeed it is behind. So the opening score. And Fremantle are one behind. Sydney yet to get rolling.
So no farting around there. Very, very quick with the arc as Lloyd, who Ash played on, I think, 92 consecutive times from fullback until about 2 weeks ago, where he had to kick one from the square.
Spot on, BT.
Yeah, very impressive play on situation. Blakey from Rampy on the left. Neat little ball out wide here. And Sydney through Florent. In the shade of the stands at Metricon. Move the ball forward now in the hands of McInerney. Driving ball, looking for Franklin over the top. Both hands there, Hickey in front. And going with him nicely was Ryan. We'll throw it in, out of bounds. Fremantle one behind. Sydney yet to score on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Other games today, Two-Man for Red Z?
Some big games. Geelong taking on Richmond at the G at 3:20, followed by Essendon and the Giants at Metricon.
We'll hear that Geelong-Richmond game directly after this. Young, now Fife, hurried hand pass in defence. It just screws off the outside of the boot towards the boundary line. The Swans will take possession now on half forward. Aaron hand pass. Now's a chance for the Dockers. A hand pass quickly from Darcy Tucker. Now they've got a bit of space. Walters got a bit of room on the forward flank. Short ball is absolutely perfect. And this time Banfield has got a metre on his man. And Banfield, who was impressive when he came back into the side last week, was Bailey. he'll line up from tight on the boundary from about 40.
So we'll get a good idea, Howie, with the wind, won't we?
We will.
See exactly what happens here.
And he's on his preferred side here. He's a left footer. But Walters, his first two kicks brings. It's so important for him to get his hand on the ball and sets up plenty of scoring opportunities for the Dockers.
Bailey Banfield, 3 goals when he returned to the side last week. On the left, opens it up. Now the breeze, as Belinda said, really started to waft that one, Brian, but it hits the post. 2 behind to 0. Bob Jane, Belinda.
The wind will actually be even stronger at the other end, gentlemen, so that gives you some indication of how much effect it is. Also, that change was so late. Mitch Crowden is still warming up on the boundary here. Josh Tracy withdrawn from illness. You saw the crowd also down that end. I reckon there's just as many people gone to watch Alex Rance in his return with Essendon at Southport, just about 20 minutes from here.
Interesting. Very good. Well done. Thanks, Belinda. Wilson tackled the moment he received the footy. Got a free, in fact, from umpire Matty Nichols.
I think they're the best side in it, Southport, aren't they? This year in the VFL, BT, they're on top.
I don't know. Doug haven't been looking closely at the VFL scores.
To be fair to say, Brian's got enough AFL on his plate before he goes to the minor league.
He's always across everything.
Didn't get to the 5 VFL games this week. Little one here from Ryan over the top here. Walters covering a lot of ground now at centre-half back.
I think it's the Bulldogs on top and then Southport second.
Okay, Duck, you're all across it.
Walters, short little ball up the corridor, finds Aish. So just progressing patiently here, the Dockers. Aish from half-back basically, goes a little wider to half-forward. Over the head of that occasion was Meek. Blakey able to come in and take the ball away from Collier. Did it nicely, little chip kick to the wing. Didn't find the target. Fife got his body in the way. Gathered the footy, little bit of a fumbly handball. Papley able to shoot it out there to Kennedy. Kennedy gets it further afield to McInerney. Might even be Wicks. It is. Wicks goes inside 50. 45 and closing, missed right. Marner scores, Sydney's first of the day. 1 behind, Fremantle 2 behinds on the Triple M scoreboard.
And what we are seeing, style of play, the teams that are just trying to build it up, those short, uncontested moments. In this level of win, we're seeing turnovers happen, so it's going to be challenging for the Dockers if they want to chip it around like they're doing at the minute.
Triple M Seabus Super Special Comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. You've got Wayne Carey and Ross Lyon. That's your Carl Lewis, Michael Johnson style Sunday afternoon Olympic combination. Hickey slides the ball down towards Buddy. Got one in the back. Now Papley comes in, loves to sniff a goal. He's caught by 3 Dockers, though. He's not going anywhere. What are you seeing on the Red Zeds, Chewy?
Triple M Red Z, Nathan Fife, 4 disposals. Howie, look out for Jacob Dawson, past month, number 1 rated player at the Swans, averaging 24 touches.
4 touches in 5 minutes for Fife. Fremantle kick going the way of Brayshaw in the back half here, right deep in the back pocket, in fact, Brayshaw. What's the average this year, Ash? How's he gone? Seems to have gone really well.
Yeah, career high disposals at 28 per game.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
And you're a fan of the work of Jacob Dawson, Chewy?
I am.
Right. How about Jordan?
Jordan Dawson, correction. Thanks, Howie.
Brayshaw, just deliberate traps.
Very warm and friendly here on a Sunday.
You got taking care of the clanger early there.
Thank you. It happened on a Sunday for some reason with me.
Goes deep, looking for Reed. Logue's there at the last line of defence. Reed's got him in the tackle and actually dispossessed him. Ball flows over the line out of bounds. A throw in deep in the Sydney attack zone here, Howie.
That's it.
Well, it's great to see Reed back in the team. He's a very talented player, but his career's been slaughtered by soft tissue injuries. Very important to the Swannies.
Man, you need to keep us across the Choice Hotels round the grounds when the women's 4x100 is on as well.
Will do.
All right, Logue working hard in defence. Young, he's caught with the football. It's a good tackle from Hayward, but the umpire said there was no prior opportunity.
Just on Jacob Dawson, what we did notice was he kept his width against the Bulldogs. Interesting, he can do that here and get using shots on goal.
Snap out of the pack, goal, Swans. The first of the afternoon. Wicks has had his opportunities. That wasn't Wicks, though. In fact, it was. Yep. So the opening goal for Sydney. In fact, it was Goulden who snapped it around the corner. So the Swans are 1-1, Fremantle are 2 behinds. That is all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. And the exciting man named Errol kicks the opener.
Well, that was too easy. He ran a stoppage. So Hayden Young, first-year player, very inexperienced. Back from here, just sucks into the ball, shows his back. Goulden pushes him under to create the space. Just needed to just have some body on him and not allow him space out the back. Just sucked in towards the contest too easily there.
Well, the one place you didn't want to hit it if you were Freo was that spot, wasn't
it? Into the corridor,
yeah.
Out into space. Yeah, so they'd be disappointed with that. But Golden's one of those academy. He's been with the Swans since he was 12 or 13. He's a really special young player.
So he immediately goes to the bench, gets the congratulations from Johnny Longmire. We move back to the middle. Have a look at Matty Nichols bounce the ball. One of the best in the business. Up they go. Darcy got hands to it. Mundy was in there as well for a go. Fife extracted it out of the middle, gave a little handball to Brayshaw, and Mundy's able to cut loose as a result. Just had a little bit of a fumble. Lloyd approached, able to grab the ball, run and deliver long inside 50. Oh, Franklin's given a real heavy knock to Wilson, and Wilson will get the free. And the Fremantle players don't like the attention from Franklin. They perhaps thought it was just a little late, but Wilson is okay. So a free kick will go the way here of Wilson at half-back, but an aggressive Buddy Franklin in his approach to win the footy.
I'd like to look at the Harvey Norman, Peter. I don't know just to see how late it was. Here it comes now. He was in the air, Bud, but it'll be looked at.
Yeah, but I think it was the knee into the thigh of Wilson more than anything than any head-high contact.
Walker with a running bounce. Down the line, ball is good.
What has stood out here is teams fumbling, particularly Dockers. Mundy was out by 30 metres and just fumbled the ball and created the turnover.
Taberner is the recipient of the mark. Ball kept in by Chera. Squaring ball to a dangerous position. There he is. A couple of Dockers. Now comes to Brayshaw. Hand passes over the top. The big boy takes his time. Oh, no.
That was nightmares. That was 2010. Rewald Shaw.
He just stopped Big Sean thinking, hang on, I'm going to kick a major here, Ross. And
he got excited, the big boy. That's why we like him in the ruck.
Took 5 seconds from hand to foot. Took a boy. Anyway, it was smothered off the boot in the end brilliantly by Heaney.
Move out.
And now Wilson on the wing. Little sideways sliding kick finds Mundy.
Just looking at the Harvey Norman, is Belly a coach now?
What's he doing?
He's sitting right next to Longmuir.
Yeah, right, balancing him up.
Collier from just forward of the centre circle. Goes long again on the head of Darcy. Hey. What a mark. Some redemption there against Rampy. He was far too big. And he's marked about 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle as Darcy.
Geez, a talented young player. He's strong. He was a Xavier College boarder, and the reason they loved his power at draft camp. He could really pop, jump vertically, Wayne. That's why they went with it.
Just don't give him a Joe the Goose.
Yeah, and I hope he was on the bottom bunk at Xavier.
He come in a little bit heavy, the big boy.
He's a 50%er from set shots.
Well, here he is stuck about 20 metres out, and he's nailed it. No problems at all. Beautiful mark. Good kick to finish in the end, and some redemption there for him privately. And he gets the first for Fremantle. 139, Sydney 117, Triple M RGA Liquor scoreboard.
He's actually, for his career, kicked now 15.
That would make him 50%. Even coming from Lakeside High Reservoir, I can work that one out. But it was great to see Taberner lead to the left and isolated. They isolated Sean really well there, and that's a quality mark against Rampy. Not too many take big contested marks against Rampy. He normally moves your under here, pushes your under, but he just couldn't shift him.
Just with Sean Darcy, he's a second-ranked ruckman in the competition this year. Second in the AFL for hardball gets, and fourth for hit-out advantage. Yeah,
second rank.
And BT past 3 matches, he's actually racking up 21 touches per game as well.
Red Z lending loans to the self-employed. The Two-Man in his testimonial 20th season, dominating as always on a Sunday. And Darcy with the opening major for Fremantle to reply to Goulden. So it's the Dockers leading by 2 points, 9-7. Halfway through the first term, Darcy, now Brayshaw. Fremantle send it out wide. Chain of handball. Picked up on the outer side by Sarong, who's got his head bandaged up McAvoy style. Brayshaw with a nice little step. Gets around a man. Low piercing ball forward. The true centre half forward is good to Crowden. He was the late in. Chasey out. Crowden hits a nice ball straight through the hands of Schultz it was. Bounced off his chest. Ends up coming to Henry. Now the Dockers move the ball forward. Banfield has held his man. And it'll be a free kick to the Swans and the advantage taken, Brian.
Yep, Blakey immediately gets the ball out wide and finds Haywood. Haywood looking for an overlap run here from Blakey, ignores that, slides it slightly towards the corridor, and Sydney trying to find a way forward here at the moment. 1-1-7 the Swans, Fremantle 1-3-9. We've played 12 and a half minutes. Blakey again, the shades of the stands here at Metricon. Very windy day, says Belinda. Knock off hands. Brayshaw, beautiful front and centre. Got it to Mundy. Mundy, long handball. Gave a bit of a task there for Crowden. Couldn't quite control it. Haywood through. Centre half back. Fox, handball. Lightning to Florent. Needs to handle it quickly or Brayshaw's on his tail. Well spoilt by Brayshaw. Picked up by Sarong. Gave the little handball. But look at the Sydney numbers.
Hot footy ends up with Florent. Centre wing out of side. Just chips it one further wide. You get it back here, Ollie Florent. He just cruises down the outer wing. Wants someone to come at him. No pressure on the ball deliverer. He goes to Kennedy. This is good from the Swans. Now Bell from outside 50. Beautiful use of the footy. The big bud gets front position. And he'll line up for his first, the big man, which will be goal number 982.
Well, Brian called it in the lead in the Swans hunting in numbers. There was 3 or 4 surrounded Dockers players, stripped him of the ball, and then from there was just a lack of pressure by the Dockers. They just moved it down to isolate Pearce.
Franklin plays on. A man of his skill have no problems, but he's got his first. And the Swans have got their second. They take the lead 2-1 to the Dockers at 1-3 by 4 points on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. The custard pie is back, Duck, for just $1.50 on the Macca's loose change menu.
Is that like a custard tart?
It is, Duck, but it's a bit
like
more
a little,
pie.
like an apple. I actually went through the drive-through last night.
They're pretty tasty, aren't they?
Well, I actually resisted. I looked at it. I was going to take a photo for, was it Barry Denner?
Barry Denner,
yeah. So I was going to go out with sympathy, but I kept the discipline.
Just on, is that Bud too, man?
Yeah, Buddy Frank.
Yeah, just on Bud. I remember Jason Dunstall saying that in his early years, and he's always been a great shot at goal, but he knew he got a lot more of the footy. So later on in his career, he practiced even more because he
Who are you talking about? Dunstall?
Jason Dunstall. No, I'm getting to Buddy. Right. I'm just using him as an example because I remember him saying that he practiced more because he knew he was going to get less of the footy. Buddy has become a more accurate kick now than what he was earlier in his career.
Took a while to get 57% or something.
Yeah, he's at 74.
74?
71, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nonsense, Tua. Mundy has a shot at goal, open goal square. Don't think he touched it, Rampy. He says he did. Mundy says he didn't, and the goal umpire says he didn't. There'll be an automatic review as part of the process in getting it back to the middle. But he kicks the goal, Mundy, in game 350. And he certainly enjoyed that. Fremantle, 2-3-15, lead Sydney 2-1-13 on the Triple M IGA scoreboard.
So his career, Bud, 58% from set shots, and this year he's 71%.
Oh, this year?
Yes.
It took a while to get there, but anyway.
Well, I was making the point that if you're getting less of it, you want to be more accurate.
And I agree, but let's go back to the man playing his 350. That was signature. Won the ball in congestion. Even someone as big as Kennedy couldn't lay the tackle, shrugged the tackle off it. So here it is on the Harvey Norman replay. Shrugs the tackles, fakes one and unleashes from outside 50 and just beautiful skill level.
Rampy's saying he touched that.
Yep, no one's agreeing with him. Where are we at with the 4x1 where the Australian women are the world record holders, Stu?
Yeah, we're probably only about 3 or 4 minutes away, I reckon, Howie.
Swimmers on pool deck?
They are indeed.
Mundy bursts in the middle again, fresh off a goal in 350. Big fly from behind Tabin. Oh, Schultz loves a goal from here. He's
off the knee.
He's legged from behind. Surely he'll get the free kick, Schultz.
Well, the tackle started up at the hips and fell down to around the ankle, so I got a little bit lucky, but they're on top here, the Dockers. The Swans look okay, but if the Dockers had cleaned up some of their fumbles and missed opportunities, they could be further in front here.
So Lockie Schultz, the man from Moama, and the under-18 got through Williamstown.
Old-fashioned rugby tackle, that one.
It was. Started sort of around the knee and went to the ankles. I like this bloke, Duck. He's a feisty little character. Did you coach him, Ross, or was he already...
Yeah, I did for the first year. Yeah, he's worked hard to get into it.
Okay. A real positive...
No, he's making the most of the ability he's got.
Schultz from directly in front. Freo have got the last two. And they got 3 in total. 3-3-21 to Sydney 2-1-13. Up by 8 points now, the Dockers on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
The women's 4x100 on the blocks ready to go. Relay there as well.
Keep an eye on that one.
Freestyle.
Well, just a really good contest, wasn't it? That's where you want to be if you're a small forward. You're front and square.
Deep entry, top of the square, contest crumb. But it's been 2 centre square bounce clearances for the Dockers that's got them back in this game and on top just at the minute. And Mundy's been instrumental in both of them.
Kick the last 2, Freo. Lead it by 8. Played 17 minutes of the first quarter, and they look up for the fight here. And we know how good Sydney have been this year. They are a definite finals contender. They've won their last 3, so Fremantle looking to put an end to that streak. Back in the middle we go. Umpire Hayden Gavine to bounce it in the middle.
He's going to take a world record to win this race, Brian.
Meek. It'll be a hot race, Howie. There's no doubt about that. Keep an eye on it. Reed, little handball. Florent back to Reed. Beautiful hands by Reed. He was taken into some trouble, though. Lloyd had a bit of a fresh airy. Banfield picked it up, gave the handball to Meek. Fife was upended, little high from Bell. Got rid of it. They're out of trouble once again here, though, Freo. Beautiful little handball by Chera. Got it away in the nick of time. Fremantle go inside 50 again. Blakey with a good spoil. Taberner couldn't control it. In fact, he accidentally kicked it out of bounds on the full. Off the ground, and it'll be a Sydney ball in the back half.
Yeah, well done, Blakey. Went back. Got a really good piece of that towards the boundary.
Carton had a fine season, this man, Rossi.
Yeah, a lot of intercept marks. He's really blossomed since the move down back.
He looks like a 100-game player already, doesn't he, McCart?
Mundy again gets the arms up. Coming back the other way are the Swans, though. They drive the ball into a vacant forward 50. Heaney's out of position. He has to track back now. Heaney comes a second time. The Dockers use spare body well. Brandon Walker picks it up, and now Fremantle have got it centre wing, Brian.
Yep, Australia leading at the halfway mark, by the way, Howie, in the 4x100. In the meantime, Fremantle continue on here with a little low ball, finding Collier right on the wing here. Collier for Fremantle, trying to get things going. Fremantle in a good cycle here at the moment. Good looking ball down to Taberner. He had the ground covered. Nothing Lloyd could do to spoil the mark, and Taberner will line up from 45 metres out on a pretty tough angle.
Where do you see Taberner, Ross? Has he gone on like you thought?
He's a really good story. He was a rookie list player.
Yeah, right.
Overlooked. Since he come through incredibly hard trainer work, so been a little bit mechanical, but we played him early. We banged a lot of games in. He played finals in 14, so I really admire him. He's making the best of himself, and he's had some injury problems as he comes in on his left foot here, Howie.
Australia turns with 100 to go in front of world record place in first, Brian.
Taberner on his favoured left side. Beautiful kick, just fading a little, but still good enough. So Fremantle have kicked 3 in a row here, and they look the goods at the moment. 4-3-27, Sydney 2-1-13. Australia are going to absolutely fleece the 4x100 freestyle for women. They are leading, and they're going to go all the way for the first gold for Australia.
Doing a fair job on the world record as well. So the Dockers have kicked the last 3 now to lead this 27-13. What are you seeing on the Reds' head, Stewie?
Sarong, he's had 8 disposals, a couple of centre clearances, and Brayshaw's also been busy with 8 touches. Parker, who's been averaging 31 over the past month, just a 2-hand.
Haven't seen him. They're braining him out of the middle, aren't they? I think it'd be 6-1 the Dockers' way or 5-1.
But world record for Australia, and a destroyation, as Rex would say. Canada and the United States in second and third. That's 2.5 body lengths, Brian.
Yep.
That's an enormous margin. So the Australians with their first gold in the Olympics, and that's got me up, Ross.
Well, that's an incredible performance. Like to outperform at that level.
Oh, yes. The Campbell sisters will be in there. Well done to them.
That'll be the best thing we'll see in the Olympics. That win there is a ripper. In the meantime, Bell's got a free here at half forward for Sydney. Sydney being completely outplayed here at the moment. Bell says, steady down. We'll just slow things down, get a little bit of possession in our hands.
Winning an Olympic gold medal with your sister. Wow.
Gee, and it's great because the Australian women's swimming, there was some noise around leading in, so that just put a real...
Over the line now to bounds, and we're just watching the celebrations, and fantastic to see Australia win their first gold. The women's 4x100 freestyle have got home in world record time. Boundary throw in deep for Sydney. Beautiful knockdown there from Hickey to Papley. Handball out the back door. Went and got it. Parker to Hewitt. Hewitt now. Heaney. Little right foot slider out the side door, and a good mark taken. Gee, it was a good mark by Wicks, and he's a long way from goal. He'll kick it where the 50-metre line meets the boundary. The most difficult spot. Wicks not going to go for it in the end. Pops it up to the high ball in the square over the top. Haywood. Papley was thereabouts as well. Plenty of Fremantle players around. Wilson deliberately but well disguised taking the ball through for a deliberate behind. It's 13 plays 27 in favour of the Dockers.
They've kicked the last 3, have the Dockers. Chera off half back, needs to be accurate with the ball out, and it is to Croden. As Belinda Mellon told us pre-game there was going to be a late out, and Tracy, and she was absolutely spot on for Bob Jane. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free instant cashbacks. BobJane.com.au. That's why she's the best on the coast. No doubt about that. Brandon Walker in the middle round. Now Fremantle move it to half forward. Drops a ball he would have normally taken and opens the door, but coming back the other way is Young. He's caught by Wicks. Swans want holding the ball, and they don't get it.
Yeah, well, he dived on it, Young, there, so got out of jail. But back to Lockie Schultz, Howie. He actually was delisted and then put onto the rookie list and then onto the list, is my understanding. So he's available for free agency next year.
Okay.
Fremantle by 13. 5. How many's he had, Ash? Seems to have had a fair bit of it already.
He has, BT, 8 touches.
Darcy goes back to Young. Young through heavy traffic. Little handball to Brayshaw. Gets it on to Chera. Half forward. Sneaky little ball here to Walter. Should mark. Intercepted by Heaney, though. Heaney at half back immediately wants to move the ball quickly, sensing there may be some players out of position. Papley, little linking handball to Kennedy in the middle of the ground. Kennedy with a beautiful kick finds Hayward running in the same direction as goal, and Hayward will line up 40 metres out directly in front.
It was a good effort. I'm not sure. Was it Papley? The kick in the
Papley.
middle. Yeah, just to
I'm
get
not
that
sure
to
was it
ground.
against Sean Darcy or Luke.
Yeah.
Oh no, Luke Ryan it was. Luke Ryan, the interceptor, just launched, brought it to ground, and then butted up and picked it up off the ground. But Kennedy's vision off to the left to pick out Hayward was exceptional.
The man on the mark here has gone 5 metres back from where he needed to be. It didn't matter anyway. Hayward's kick was off. It was a strange decision when a guy's kicking from goal on the limit to drop off the mark rather than
and in the corridor where there was no angle to defend.
Weird.
So Ryan will bring the ball back into play. Did the BNF last year, Rossi?
Pardon? Luke Ryan, yeah, very. From Marby Park, Lukey Ryan.
Right.
Yeah, very, very talented player.
Is it the Doig?
The Doig, yeah.
Who's that named after, Rossi?
Mr. Doig.
Okay.
The Doig name in Western Australia is famous.
Okay. I just thought as
I think with South Fremantle, there you go.
Okay. I thought as Coach Ross would have a little more recognition, but we've sort of embarrassed ourselves there. Bring that to the table.
No, the Doig family, very, very famous.
Yes, Ross.
Very famous Fremantle family, I think, Howie.
Okay. Two-man, maybe a little bit, just flesh out the information a little bit there if you could.
I think there was a Doig, two-man, that in the waffle may have led the goal kicking for like 30 times in a row or something.
30?
Yeah, he played to 60.
Right, he must have had a lengthy career. Must have kicked a lot of majors, Brian.
Well, I just remember it in the book saying Doig, 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 Doig.
Okay, multiple Doigs. G-Man will just flesh that out for us a moment in a bit. If you're just joining us, Australia won their first gold medal of the Olympics. The Campbell sisters, alongside a couple of other superstars in the 4x100 in world record time. Blakey, promising player to Dawson, spins out of trouble, centre wing. Now Robbie Fox releases Ollie Florent by hand, goes inboard. It's a good ball too, Brian.
Hickey took the mark, peeled off the handball to Hewitt. Goes wide, could have taken a little bit more ground, but found some space out there with the Sydney Swans from centre wing going to Franklin. In front was Pearce, tries to knock it away. Franklin keeps it rolling forward, but he's getting further out from goal. He's 55 metres out now. Little kick around the corner has been gobbled up by Collier. Wants to play on immediately. Collier from half back. Gets it out wide, looking for Crowden, and Crowden receives the free here. Advantage paid. Henry with a little ball from half back to the wing.
It's effective, goes inboard. So Fremantle building again. 3 on the trot. Collier in his hands. They drive it further forward again. Well done, Blakey arrived on the scene. Cut off Walters. He's good enough to get the crumbs. His kick is stymied though going forward, and a little bit of respite for Sydney. They've got it to Dawson on half back. How have they done this to kick the last 3, Chewy, on the Reds' heads?
Definitely, they're not renowned for their pressure, the Dockers, but their pressure rating's up. It's going at 190.
What does that mean, Ash?
I should have said that, BT. I know it's going to be a favourite, so I've just given myself hospital.
They're tackling, chasing, harassing.
It's bordering elite.
Well, give us some context when you do stuff like that, Ash.
Yeah, I should.
Give us the top of the thermometer.
Ronk with the possession.
What's the AFL average, Stu? 180?
180. Yeah.
So about 5% above the AFL average.
I like that, Ross from Red Set.
Now Bell on the near side, just forward of the wing. Just chisels a little ball forward. Patient build up from the Swans. It's in the hands of the star, Lukey Parker. He drops it forward towards the big boys. Reed floats in. Got his head shaved. Looks real tough. And the ball not going anywhere, 20 out from the Sydney Swans attack goal. Here's the two-man.
Yeah, and with the Doig family. Yes. 7 members of the Doig family played for both East Fremantle and South Fremantle. The most prominent one is George, who was inducted in the Australian Football Hall of Fame. George Doig.
Do you think they're Catholics?
I think so. Not a lot of condoms around in those days, Ross.
I think people knew what we meant before you actually wandered into that area on a Sunday afternoon, Brian.
Fact of life, they're on the shelf. Here's Henry. Little handball from Taberner. Free kick will be paid. It'll go Fremantle's way. There was no advantage, so it'll come back to Henry.
Not a word you typically hear on Sunday afternoon football.
I think there was a Doig stand at one of the grounds, maybe at Subi.
Two powerful clubs there. The Waffle, very, very strong competition, as Brian would know.
Oh, yeah. It was hugely popular and strong. Huge crowds. Here's Walters' kick. Magnificent kick to Banfield. Banfield not sure what to do. Little confused inside the 50. Eventually waited and propped up and found a target in Crowden, the late replacement, and he'll line up about 45 metres out directly in front.
Well, Banfield certainly kept his composure there, Wayne, didn't he? Didn't blaze away, just danced around as something opened up and shifted the ball laterally and put it to space. But the wind seems to be favouring the right-hand side of the screen.
Crowden comes in, left footer to the left-hand side, and a minor score there for him. So just a minute 32 remaining in the quarter, and it is a 13-point Freo lead.
I wonder where the other coaches are, Wayne. I can't see them.
Gee, man, I wouldn't mind an update at some stage on Ash Barty too in the tennis, if that's possible, for Choice Hotels around the grounds where people are busy today. Thank you, Chewy. You're a man that can handle this. 20 years in the chair. Free kick against Nat Fyfe off half back.
You're multi-skilled today, Chew.
Yeah. Under a bit of pressure, Ross.
Should have heard his analysis of the opening ceremony the other night, Ross. It was outstanding. He said it was in tribute to the Victorian building industry at one point. Yep. Yeah, right. Japanese have got on board. Parker too much on the ball going forward. Might work out. Clean bowls Hayward. Now Bell, exciting young player, arrives. Rowbottom. He's had an arm ripped across his body, and he'll get a free kick. Will Jimmy Rowbottom? You're across his family situation, Brian.
Thanks for your stand.
Yes, he's my nephew.
Is he?
Yeah.
Right, I didn't know that. I just heard you talking about him earlier on. Right. So on what, take me through the family lineage.
He's my wife's brother's kid.
Right. Was he always a talented young footballer?
Yeah, I think he was pretty good.
Did you put him under your wing and sort of advise him?
No, I had nothing to do with him, but other than hello and goodbye. And he's got a sister that's about to go number one in the AFLW.
Okay, there you go. So I like everything about him. He looks like he's straight from Maroubra out of the surf when he rolls onto the footy field. Does James Rowbottom. Hits it sweetly. Sydney much needed. They get their third, Ducky boy, and they sneak back to within 7 points, 28-21 at the way of Fremantle on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Just Chew, we know over the last month the Swans have been like the third best defence, and they take off the opposition uncontested marks. How are they going today against Fremantle?
Yeah, well, they concede the least in the comp. At 16 per quarter, they've conceded 25.
Yeah, right.
Way above their average.
50% more, yeah, so they need to tighten up. They are moving the ball well through the corridor, the Dockers. They're able to get it through there and create some scoring opportunities.
So Fremantle by 7 points with just a few seconds left before quarter time. And just letting you know that Australia have won their first gold in the pool with the women's 4x100 metre freestyle relay.
Harris, Titmus, Campbell and Campbell, Brian.
Very good. So 7 seconds remaining. Been a good quarter here for Fremantle. Just let that little goal slip then from Rowbottom. Back in the middle with umpire Gavine, taking a long time to steady himself, but he gets away a nice bounce. Up they go. Beautiful work from Darcy to Fyfe. Fyfe handball, knowing that Mundy was somewhere in the area. Mundy copped one high. Siren sounds. Not happy Dave Mundy in game 350. Interesting quarter of football. Freo lead it. 4-4-28. Sydney 3-3-21. Fremantle by 7 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday, Triple M rocks footy.
The custard pie is back for just $1.50 on Macca's loose change menu.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
I'm a Carlton fan, so Chris Judd is king.
Oh.
But, you know.
You don't think of him as a West Coast guy?
No.
I wonder what he thinks of himself as. Probably where he won the flag.
He played 9 more games for Carlton than West Coast.
So he's a Carlton guy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
At Liquorland, there's always great value. Like a 700ml bottle of El Sueño Tequila Silver for just $45. That's just $45. So head into your local Liquorland today or shop online and collect your order in just 30 minutes.
At Coles, we're doing everything we can to help you shop safe. That means extra cleaning in-store and contactless click and collect to your car. Please remember to check in via the QR code when you shop in-store. It's all to help you shop safe at Coles.
It's Gordon Tallis here. Do you need access to your working capital? Then speak with us at Apricity Finance today. Apricity Finance provides a flexible invoice finance facility that grows with your business. There are no lengthy contracts or hidden fees. And what's best, we can pay up to 95% of approved invoices on the spot. Apricity Finance is made for business that works with big business. If you're working on a big contract, call us on 1300 APRI CITY or visit apricityfinance.com and turn your workflow into cash flow.
Are you a qualified electrician or gas fitter looking for an opportunity to get your career cooking? Right now, the Oven Repairman is looking to add to its growing team of qualified technicians. Step out of the cold and work indoors. Enjoy work-life balance with no weekend work, your own vehicle, great pay, full training and a team to support you. Time to step into a new career and a new lifestyle. Google the Oven Repairman.
Who can get you cooking again? The Oven Repairman can.
The census is coming this August. It's when every stat tells a story. Like population data, which tells mental health services where to support people in need. Remember, your answers don't just make statistics. They help build a better future for all of us. Look out for instructions on what to do. For more info, visit census.abs.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Canberra.
G'day, Luke Boner here, and I love Power Pollen. I keep saying, give it a go. With a little help from Power Pollen, you can get your day done and have more in your tank for fun. With a 1 month supply for $29.95 plus delivery. Or better value, 3 month supply for $69.95 plus delivery. With the bonus 2 pieces of the Honey Pollen Soap. Get your day done and have more in your tank for fun with Power Pollen. Give it a go. Order online at powerpollen.com.au.
60 months interest free at Harvey Norman. Purchase with 60 months interest free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of $500. Shop for laptops, printers, TVs, fridges, washing machines, lounges, beds, flooring and more. Minimum financed amount $1,000. Approved applicants only. 60 equal monthly payments. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. Purchase with 60 months interest free and receive a bonus gift card valued at up to $500 at Harvey Norman.
Go!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Quarter time, Metricon Fremantle lead this and kick free on the top, but Rowbottom answered late to the Swans. They are 4-4-28, Sydney 3-3-21. Choice Hotels round the grounds. The Australians in world record time, winning the 4x100. That's the Campbell sisters alongside Harris and McKeon. And Ash Barty in the tennis, Chewy.
Yeah, she lost the first set, Howie, 6-4 against the Spaniard, and early stages into the second set. Keep you updated.
Thank you, Chewy. Bob Jane T-Mart to get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cashbacks, bobjane.com.au. Hey, B, you brought us all the information about Josh Tracy. Just tell us, what was the issue with him? Did he hurt himself? Was he crook? I didn't get all that in the confusion.
He was crook, so literally we'd been told 10 minutes before the bounce that the teams were unchanged. Then suddenly the medicos from Freo came out to the bench and issued a late change, and he was just unwell and didn't take his place in the side. Dave Mundy, boys, I should point out, also not happy with that high contact just before the quarter time siren. Went and had a chat to the umpires. The doctor also checked him out, but he is fine. He will continue to take part in this game, although he is starting this term also on the bench.
Thanks, B. Here's Ross and Wayne.
Yeah, well, it was a very even contest. The Dockers, the difference, entries are almost equal, but the Dockers' efficiency inside 50, they scored at 2 out of every 3, which hasn't been their strength. They only took 2 marks inside forward 50 last week, but they would have had a few already today. And the centre square bounce has been the difference for them. They've kicked 2 goals out of the middle, but their midfield early was going well. Brayshaw, then Mundy and Fife got going, but Parker and Kennedy worked their way back in. I just think the wind, I thought the Swans, it was harder for them going inside 50. It'd be interesting to see how the Dockers handle that wind at the other end this quarter, and if it's going to be easier for the Swans to capitalise on their opportunities this quarter.
Yeah, a couple of those goals for Freo. Sydney will be disappointed because they actually were there, and an easy one front and square free kick. The Darcy mark, Rampy was there. You'd think he would normally spoil that.
Swan-like.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to go here with the second quarter. It's a 7-point Fremantle lead against Sydney. It's a Sydney home game. It's at Metricon Stadium. It all sounds rather confusing, but we're getting through the season. Haven't missed a beat so far. AFL have done a great job. Fife, once again out of the middle. Little handball was smothered, knocked back into the path of Brayshaw. He's able to pick it up cleanly, gave it to Aish. Aish back to Brayshaw. Brayshaw handball there. It was always going to be under pressure to Tucker. Now picking it up is Wicks. Gave the little handball to Hewitt. Did a 360 turn. Spots up row bottom wide. He marks. Kick was smothered. It was a little bit casual the way he went about it. Now Logue's all over him and really rubs his head into the dirt as well. And Logue wants the free, but he won't get it. And the umpire will ball it up 55 out from Sydney's goal.
But if we go back, Darcy Tucker, the second time the Dockers have been out and flowing, he just fumbled it at the last minute and created a really simple turnover for the Swans.
Hickey wins the contest in the ruck, spits back to the outer side though. The Swans pressuring Brayshaw. He's on his defensive 50. His team leading by 7 points. That's the Dockers. Reed comes in, as does Logue. Spills out the back of the pack again. Aish gets his head over the footy. Hickey does the same, just scoops it out to Heaney. Got those bright green lime boots on. Spins in and out of trouble is Fife. He's just so strong through the core. Walters, that's a beautiful hand pass. Releases the Dockers to move forward. They got a man out the back. Gee, that was good. Tabiner, he plays on. He runs and kicks the goal. Good finish, Tabiner. When he turned and went, I got a bit nervous, but Matty's got his second, and the Dockers have kicked 4 of the last 5 to lead this one now, 5-4 to 3-3. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
And you, during the call, you called it, Howie, just that handball where you don't have to break stride. That's the key. That handball's slightly off.
Shearer, he gets run down.
Exactly right. It was just perfect execution. And as you said, Fife stood up. But it was that handball from Walters that just enabled him to continue to run forward and look forward and then deliver the footy.
Yeah, spot on, Wayne. And their ability, we spoke about it, they got it through the corridor the first quarter, and that's continued a trend. But what they have had as a feature this year, Doctors, they have transferred the ball from D50 to scoring opportunities, I think in the top 3 in the AFL. So that was their signature, but the key was Fife standing up and breaking that tackle.
Beautiful kick by Chera as well with the entry. So Fremantle looking really solid at the moment. Very impressive. Out of the middle once again. This is Meek running the full journey and kicking, and it was almost there. Mark has been taken by Dawson in the back half for Sydney. So Dawson, just a little sideways kick to Lloyd. Lloyd, a little stiffy, found Hewitt. And Hewitt at centre half back.
Play on. Play on.
Thought about it. A little confused as to where he'll go. Eventually unloads the handball out the back door to Dawson. And now Dawson's on that left foot, goes very, very wide and finds Kennedy. Kennedy says to his mates, come at me, I'll hit you.
Fife with 11, Hewitt with 8 leading possessions for their respective sides. Now Heaney off half back on the outer side, as B said, very breezy day, a westerly gusting across Metricon Stadium. It's a little bit patchy in places, Metricon, a bit of topsoil, and sand has been put down. Lowe gets a free kick. Mark, take your pick. It's going the way of Lowe with a free kick, as the Australian girls are presented with their gold medals in the 4x100 by, it's like James Tompkins of the 4x...
Presenting themselves, actually.
Yeah, well, they have to put their own medals on.
Yeah.
See, what a special moment for them. They probably couldn't describe the emotion of winning Olympic gold.
No, outstanding. And the Fina Treasurer is presenting as well. That'd be a gig and a half as the ball goes into the middle of the ground. And it's marked nicely by Lloyd Meek.
Fair to say, be pocketing a bit.
Brian, now, you're obviously saying that in jest. That's right. Slides the ball forward to Hickey. Now Buddy's got it. 70 from home. Just tries to squeeze the ball. And it goes to little man Papley, the Bunyip flyer, who will line up from 35.
From Bunyip, is he?
He is from Bunyip.
What's Bunyip famous for, Howard?
The Bunyips.
Isn't it famous for a hill?
The Bunyip Hill, yes. No, I don't know. It's the South Gippsland area, sort of.
Yeah, it's on the near past Pakenham.
That's right. Well, it's famous for Tom Papley. That's what it's famous for. Loves a goal, this man.
I think they've got a repeater tower there for mobile phones.
So it's no wonder.
Sprays it across the face. It's not really a claim to fame. Why visit Bunyip? Because we've got a repeater tower. Someone from Bunyip send us a message at Triple M Football and tell us why it's famous. It's a beautiful part of the world. 34-22 the way of the Fremantle Dockers.
Well, it's green, let's put it that way, Howie. It's beautiful, but Fremantle by 12 points here. Wilson to kick it in from full back. Just went from binoculars then. Darcy Walters keeps it moving forward by hand and foot and eventually got the free as well, Walters. It was sensational stuff. He almost got through. Won the free as well. Knock on the leg, and now he senses that he can go, and he does. Picks up another couple of metres, got it deep inside 50. Big pack of players. Kennedy knocks it down through traffic beautifully. Was Rampy. That little low left foot kick out very wide to Papley, who's quite high, trying to put a bit of a dance on there. Walker got caught in the end. He swallowed none of it. Dawson spills. Little kick put off there by the tackle. Had another crack at it. Walker couldn't win it. Heaney sliding handball to Hewitt. Hewitt keeps the arms three in the tackle. Heaney, little flick pass. Found Wicks under real pressure here. They're going backwards, Fremantle with Rampy.
Got some information from one of our dedicated listeners, the great Brendan Favola, as to Bunyip. Be fair to say, I can't repeat what Fev said of the town, but it doesn't sound like he enjoyed his time in Bunyip. Named after the legend that there is a Bunyip in the area. Obviously, Fev didn't discover the Bunyip on his travels as the ball goes across the line in front of Buddy Franklin. 70 from attacking goal for the Swans. They trail 34-22. Triple M Red Zeds. What do you got, Chewy?
Nathan Fyfe, Howie, leading ball winner on the ground with 11 disposals. But Darcy is a number one ranked player at the moment. He's had 12 hit-outs, 6 of those to advantage.
Nice one, Chewy. It was the Dockers by 7 at quarter time. They're currently out by 12 points. David Mundy's 350th. He's kicked a goal. Aisha's not going anywhere. He's got one round the neck, but the umpire will separate the boys. And here's Brian Taylor on a Sunday afternoon on Triple M. Nothing better.
Thoroughly enjoying it, Howie. Darcy, little knockdown. Mundy, the flick to Fyfe was just sensational awareness. Fyfe got nailed in the tackle in the end, but no fault of Mundy.
I know what it's famous for. It was the club where your man Shane Mumford did the 23 sausages in Bunyip.
Was it?
That's what it's famous for, Brian.
Right.
More so than the repeater tower, I feel.
Darcy, Fyfe, Parker. Free kick. Goes here to Sydney. Beautiful kick out wide there from Golden to find Heaney, and Heaney's marked well within Heaney range at 40 out directly in front.
It was a beautiful kick. We saw Fremantle go to that same position, and a lot of teams don't like to go there. That's where the space is. They don't like to go there in case it's turn over.
Yeah, because it's like a switch kick. Yeah. They just sweep it away. But often there's open space for the forwards to work into.
If the kick's good enough, it's an easy mark.
Sir Isaac Heaney directly in front. 50 metres, got to come back a long way. Windle pushed it in the opposite direction, and in the end, not so. So 5-4-34 Freo. Sydney 3-5-23 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Did you say Sir?
Stand.
Sorry?
Did you say Sir Isaac Heaney?
Sir Isaac Heaney?
Yeah. I like it.
Just feels like it needs that in front of us.
I like it. It's the great, what was he, a physicist, Brian? We're wondering the areas we don't really
Might have been a chemistry expert.
No, I think he's more of a physicist. But
Isaac Newton.
Yeah, Sir, that's right. Jim, what did he do? Was he physics or chemistry?
He said what goes up must come down.
Wasn't when the apple fell on his head.
No, was that Newton, was it? Okay, so he was an apple eater, we've proven that.
One thing we've worked out here today is that none of us went to school.
And if it's not football, all the other 16.
And we didn't listen if we did.
Well, we didn't know much about nothing. So we're lucky to be here as Sydney send the ball forward. Low, Rowbottom hits it hard. He's a nephew of Brian, and Brian was heavily involved in his junior career as it goes across the
No, I wasn't. Don't say that. The old man will kill me.
So Fremantle lead this one 34-23. Tackles inside 50. Sydney 13. Fremantle yet to register one, Chewy.
Yeah, spot on
the Red Zeds. Darcy, Hickey, boundary.
Well, you don't have to tackle when you're just putting it through for goals or points, do you? They're quite efficient at the minute. So.
What's the uncontested marks in this quarter, Two-Man? Sydney,
they flipped it around, Duck. They're 12-1 in this term.
Darcy doing the ruck work here. Hickey in his forward 50. Wilson, fancy little bit of footwork. Mundy just through traffic magnificently. Scrub a roll kick up into the middle of the ground. Hewitt's able to cut it off. Gave it to Lloyd. Lloyd looks further afield. Long ball goes deep to a one-on-one. At the back, flew over the top. Couldn't quite get it, Goulden. Handball comes out to Chera. Little ball, you heard the umpire's call, play on, and so had to go Schultz and did. Back inside to Brayshaw. Aish. Now the overlap run from Wilson through half back. Sizzling little ball into the middle. Miss Banfield. Didn't come at it. Spills to Fox. Fox rams it back inside 50. Looking for Franklin. Did well Pearce. Defended him. Logue there as well. They all look a little uncertain as Buddy is poised to strike. Pearce and Franklin go at it near the boundary line. Parker kept it in. Franklin took it out. Over the line now to bounce, attacking 50 for the Swans.
Tackle remained for a while. Now there's a bit of push and shove, Brian, which you're better than me this area.
Well, Buddy copped a little smack to the mush then.
I think Buddy threw his elbow back too and might have copped someone. But Buddy's got a hold. I mean, that's the year of his game. He should clunk those.
Yeah, he come out in the league.
Good as he is. I mean,
that's been. We all have weaknesses. It just hasn't been a one clunker contested mark.
I like watching Pierce, Ross.
Oh, look, he's a great story. He's had some shocking broken bones in his legs. He competes. He's fierce. You know, he's got great agility. It's great to see him back playing footy, Howard. It's a great pick-up by you.
Heart and soul man. Fremantle turned the ball over in the middle of the ground with an effective tackle. Now they move forward off the boot of Nathan Wilson to a dangerous area. Down there is Liam Henry. He doesn't get it. Fife does. Squeezes off a pass. That's what he does in that Fife. And he finds Croden, who will line up from 25. No real angle. This man, the late in for Tracy, who's out with illness.
Well, until this entry, Sydney had the last 5 entries inside 50 for 2 behinds.
Yeah, which is against their trend. Normally they're efficient, so the Dockers are standing up down there.
Croden uses that breeze Belinda told us about. Bends it home. Freo have got their 6th. Mitch has got his 1st. And the Dockers skip away again. 6-4-40 to Sydney. 3-5-23 by 17 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, which is supporting and always supports Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores. That's good.
Having a look at the Harvey Norman. Ooh. Yeah, so that's where Buddy threw the arm back. That's why the Fremantle players were
backhand.
What happened, Duck? What did you see?
Oh, well, he threw his arm back into Ryan's on the side of his head, basically.
Because he probably felt the play had stopped, but Luke continued in the tackle swinging him, and he just sort of got a bit frustrated there. But lovely finish by Croden on his left foot.
Really nicely done.
Here we go.
Get the feeling he'd like the dance floors nice and dark at night. 40 plays 23. Back in the middle we go. Hickey and Darcy. Trying to win it out was Sarong. Did eventually to Mundy. Steps through a couple. Tried to get around a third. Kennedy got him though. Flicked the little handball here to Golden. Sydney on their attack. Go inside 50. Pearce leading Franklin. Although the bounce favours Franklin. Keeps it paddling forward from 50 out. Neat little ball. Good control there. Couldn't quite find on that occasion Haywood. Haywood kept it alive. Young. Squeezing handball. Got it to Aish. And out of trouble once again off the boot of Logue.
High ball centre wing out of side. Haywood battles away with Collier. Now the Swans through Gordon. Not going anywhere.
Well, again, the Dockers' defence stood up, just scrapped away, and Logue fought and just got it out of there. How's Brayshaw? Brayshaw's just fallen away a little bit since the first quarter. Sure, has it?
Yeah, spot on, Ross. 4 touches this quarter opposed to 8 in the first.
Bell, Kennedy, back to Bell and back to Kennedy again. All the way from 60. Kennedy just misses to the far side. Sydney are 3-6-24. Fremantle is 6-4-40 up by 16 points. And well done to Steph Gilmore, Sally Fitzgibbons and Owen Wright, who all won their heats in the surfing.
Yep, so the ones that didn't win, Howie, have a second chance though, I think, don't they?
Yeah, Wilson will get go into the second round. Julian.
Schultz marks here. Half back for the Dockers. Decides to go down the line. Nothing inside that he thought he could make. Looks for Darcy, off hands. Spills here to Kennedy, trying to sneak the handball. Little smother there by Aish. Immediately Kennedy goes again, gave the handball to Wicks. Got a quick kick out of the pack, gained about 20. In front was Logue, and he got one in the back from Franklin. He's been led to the footy a lot at the moment, Franklin, causing his pace. Teeny with a huge fly over the top of Ryan. It was a one-on-one, and it was a classic one.
He almost jumped over the top of him there, BT. He almost missed him all together. Jeez, he's got a massive vertical leap, mate.
That was incredible. That will look even better on replay. Ryan has got a smile on his dial because he knows he's going to be in the contender for the Mark of the Year. Sir Isaac Heaney has performed an absolute aerial miracle.
Good if we had a replay of it.
Well, we'll get that after the kick, Duck. They can't do everything at once. In comes Heaney. Kick on the way, he's got it, so he's capped off the mark with a goal, and a much needed one from Sydney, brings them within 10 points. But we're going to enjoy the replay of this. Heaney with one of the marks of the year in the classic one-on-one.
Well, I'm not sure who switched this. Sat it up in the air, Wayne.
Great mark.
left himself open for a broken collarbone the way he come down on.
You're right, head first there.
Yeah.
Bob Jane teammates, Belinda Mellon.
Michael Walters has come from the ground. He's copping it out there. He got one in the mush and he's bleeding from the mouth right now. Also limping quite heavily after a knock to the left ankle. So he's about to be patched up and come back on.
Just tell him to rub it tomorrow, son. Maybe right.
Spectacular replay on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Purchase was 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card, conditions apply. Round the grounds to the tennis from Tokyo. You've got the two man.
Yeah, Barty lost the first set 6-4, but it's Barty leading 3-2 in the second, but it's on serve, Howie.
Thank you. Two man showing his multi-talented skills. He's an Ashes winning, two-time premiership winning. Hasn't lost a test match that he's covered for Australia. Chew, how many did you win? 8 straight?
8 zip.
8 zip when Chew Man's been in charge of the stats. So much so that Justin Langer wants to get in touch with him for this summer. As they move across half-back, caught in a great tackle, Schultz, but he's hurt himself there. Lloyd.
How is Justin going? How is it all settled down?
Yes.
The Indians were a little bit restless.
There was a leading teams. Everyone gave their view, and they're all back on the same page.
Fantastic. Ray McLean was the facilitator.
I don't know if Ray was there, but it's all on the table and everything's good.
Top of the tree stuff, leading teams.
Yeah.
Caused a few arguments, Ray, though, didn't he? We had him at 7 once, and Duck didn't necessarily agree with him.
Don't make up stories, people.
I'm not sure he'd be able to...
You didn't like the feedback, though.
Not a massive believer you need to bring other people in.
He goes in that room just
for honesty.
The boardroom was bubbling.
Honesty should be there.
Well, if you've got good leadership, then and you're honest, you shouldn't need someone to come in and tell you to be honest.
Ray was, I like it.
Ray was brought in to talk. Didn't say a lot.
Duck is sipping on a Passiona. He's gone retro round a week early. As the ball is just not going anywhere. So you're not missing anything. It's all just flipping around on the outer side. It's out on the full, so it'll be a free kick the way the Swans now. Lukey Parker will take possession.
Nice spider with Passiona.
Is it?
Nice
with a bit of ice cream. Okay.
Move it on. Play
Spider. It's a while since we've had one of those.
Got 15.
Short ball. Not 15, the required distance. So Sydney just chipping it around half back. Now Lloyd. Just a neat footballer. This time, though, Pearce gets involved and takes a good intercept mark, right?
Yep, on centre wing, Pearce. Fremantle at the moment by 10 points. 8 minutes remaining in the half. Brayshaw receives the Pearce ball. Ran out of room, so he retracted and went backwards to Logue. Logue backwards to Pearce. Pearce running forward, caught in the Papley tackle. Got away with it, though. Got the handball to Brayshaw, and his handball went out of bounds between the interchange gates, so they stuffed that up a bit, Freo. And they have a boundary throw in neutral territory on the wing now. 6-4-40 to 4-6-30 Sydney. Brayshaw has a spell on the bench. What's he had, Ash, in totality?
16 touches for Red Zed.
In front is Reed. Little handball to Rowbottom. Goes inside 50, searching. Heaney wasn't facing the ball. Through with pace was Walker. Little undecided what to do. And eventually rushed it through for a behind. He had a lot of pressure there, and the behind is counted, so it'll be 31 Sydney, 40 Freo.
Wayne Carey and Ross Lyon with your Triple M CBus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. CBus for all of us. The Kelly Slater, John Florence style combination on a Sunday afternoon. As the ball goes to centre wing, I think Duck would be claiming Kelly.
Is that
no doubt about that?
Do Kelly and that, is there one that talks and one that doesn't?
Yeah, John a bit quieter. Blakey from outside 50 blazes away, misses by a long way and just sneaks it through for a behind. So Sydney are 4-8-32, Fremantle are 6-4-40, up by 8 points. 7 minutes to go before the major break on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Wilson from fullback, the boy from Mandurah in Western Australia. A little uncertain about the play on, now takes it, gathers the extra few metres and kicks out towards the stand side of the ground. Blakey swoops in front of Fife and takes the mark.
He's really found his niche at half back over the last 2 or 3 weeks. A great move.
There's been quite a few, Duck. We spoke about that, I think, yesterday, that a few players have gone back to half-back and found it just a little easier there. And here's Logue taking the defensive mark. Can you remember who else?
Well, I think Rioli for Richmond has gone back to half-back to find a little bit of form.
Bailey Dale, back dominated.
McCartan
was forward. McCartan.
Zeeble.
Yeah, Zeeble as Papley steals the footy here inside 50 with a little sneaky move, and he'll line up from 30. He had intentions of passing it, which he really didn't have any intentions of, and he's now going to line up on a difficult angle.
Well, if you can run and you can play, it's the easiest place to get a kick.
Well, Joey Montagna went back there.
And Joey didn't used to defend.
Here is Papley. About 25 metres out, kick on the way. Damn good looking kick. That is a goal. No problems at all from Tom Papley. So Sydney 5-8-38. Fremantle 6-4-40. They're closed within 2 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, they've worked their way back in nicely here, Sydney, with their pressure. They're two big bulls, their tractors inside, Parker and Kennedy, just started to get to work a little bit. But I think the win, well, that's a shocking turnover. It's been 2 goals off terrible turnovers. Whoever switched that ball, Heaney marked. He may have missed that. But again, a low 20-metre kick. It's just heartbreaking when you're working so hard as a midfield to turn the ball over like that.
He's used the breeze beautifully done.
With that half-back conversation we're having, can you draw a conclusion from that it is easier to play as a half-back flanker?
Oh, it is. I'll tell you the other one, Atkins.
Yeah.
To Geelong half-back. He was... I like him as a half-back, but he's really blossomed down there.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, because the ball comes at you. Like, you make the players a forward.
Read it.
You got people folding back on you. You got no space.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, asked Palmer to install a Ream, steady, hot and strong. 2-point margin the way of Fremantle as Sarong bangs the ball deep forward from the clearance. Heads towards the boundary line. Two-man, what was the greatest margin that Fremantle held?
Game high lead, 17 points, Howie. That was 11 minutes into the second quarter.
And here is Brian Taylor, the Dean Lucan of our Sunday operation.
And there's probably a few. Zerk Thatcher, I reckon, at Essendon went back.
Dean Stewart, the big gold medalist. I think that's you, Brian.
No, you meant the tuna fishing.
Gold medalist?
Yeah.
Weightlifter.
Offline. Wasn't quite a weightlifter, but I do remember Dean. He was good. Robert Cabas before that, of course, was a gold medalist.
And he had all your moustache type set up too, did Robbie Cabas.
Very good weightlifter, Robbie Cabas.
That's good, yeah, Robbie Cabas.
I still think you're more Dean Lucan.
Straight out of the 80s.
Big quads on you.
Here's Wicks. On the halfback, in fact, on the wing, you've confused me. Fremantle by 3 points, closing in on half-time, 5 minutes to go. Blakey accepts right on the logo, plays on immediately, swooping kick, beautiful to read. He just has to stand and take the mark. Now reels and goes, top of the goal square. Here comes Heaney, strong hands on the lead, beating Chera to the footy. He's got a bit of angle, but he's only about 15 to 20 metres out. He'll kick it around the corner for Shaw on the right. So Heaney, beautiful, precise footwork from the Swans to hit the front for the first time today. In fact, the second and third times today. And he does. Heaney puts Sydney in front. He's got a couple. Sydney lead by 3 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, it's been a dominant 10 minutes, Stu, man. Give us some numbers.
With inside 50s in this term, Duck, well weighted in favour of the Swans. They're going at 14-6. They've taken 5 marks inside their attacking 50, opposed to only 3 in the first term. And in the clearances, they got belted, down by 5 at quarter time. They've broken even this quarter.
And particularly centre square bounces where they were getting badly beaten, sure.
Yeah, it's still 4-1 Dockers' way in this quarter.
Okay, so that's keeping the Dockers in the game. They need to keep their juice going here, the Dockers. So you've got to have more juice than just a half. And hopefully they can settle at half-time, come back out and keep fighting.
Choice Hotels round the ground. Looked like Ash Barty was in a bit of trouble, Duck. She lost the first set.
Yep.
She'd just been broken in the second to trail 4-3.
Yep. Or is it 3-all? 4-3.
No, 4-3. I think she was just broken against serve. So it's a 3-point lead to the Swans. We've got 4.5 on the clock. And they've kicked the last 3 after Fremantle at one stage kicked 5 of 6 to take a handy lead. For centre wing, Buddy Franklin. Something's amusing between the two and Duck. Tied on the boundary line. Bell managed to keep the ball in. Something's just sort of wafted from the rear of the box, hasn't
Someone stepped on a duck, Howie.
Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. Righto. It was a rather large pizza that someone was eating earlier on. It looked spicy too. So the ball's gone out of bounds, centre wing. We just might need to open a few windows in the box. It's rather pungent at the moment.
Play on.
Yes, Brian.
Well, Chew, can you get back over to your own zone, please? We're in COVID-safe territory here.
I can't smell it at all.
Well, if you can't, Brian, you need your nose tested. And again, the ball continues over the boundary line.
Stop sides.
And Schultz will be happy to... He's not in this box, to be honest. 3-point lead to Sydney, 44-41. Inside 50s for the quarter. Sydney lead at 14-6. And 68-32% of time in half again the way of the Sydney Swans. Big Darcy, who kicked a goal and missed one of they're on. He was run down in the goal square. Not much happening at the moment, Brian. It's just sort of bobbling around centre wing.
Yep. So umpire Matty Nichols says, give it to me, fellas. We'll ball it up here. Half forward for Freo. They've just lost a little bit of their mojo here at the moment.
Sometimes masks are actually a benefit, Brian.
Aish. Little handball wide. Rowbottom stripped it away. Who's got... What's happening?
Whatever this strange...
aroma
is in the room. It's doing circle work.
It's definitely
Ross and
someone in this room is on protein, and it's unlikely to be me.
Not Ross, and it's obviously not me.
It's the Werribee duck.
Golden. Oh, boy. Goodness gracious me. The duck has relieved as Hayward strikes the ball out wide. Found it to Dawson. Dawson's caught on the Walters tackle. And it's fair to say that we've definitely got the 1.5 metres between us. In here at the moment is Johnny Longmire. Gets set to deliver some words at half-time. Hickey, Rowbottom combine. Rowbottom back to Hickey with a handball. He kicks high to Reid. Nudged his man beautifully out of the way in a legal manner. Reid. And he's got it on the centre wing.
He's been quiet too, man.
Sam Reid, 4 touches.
Sideways with a kick to Dawson. Dawson now with 2:45 remaining. Unloads from the middle of the ground. Goes wide to the wing and finds no problem with Ollie Florent. Florent, little handball to Rampy. Rampy's kick is a shocker. And over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in forward 50 for Sydney.
It's all happening here.
3-point lead.
It's got its own weather pattern.
Yes. So it was Freo by 7 at quarter time. It's now 3-point lead to Sydney. They've kicked the last 3 of this particular affair. Entertaining game of footy. Centre wing, 2.5 to go before the major break. Anything happening down there, Bob, Jane B?
Pretty glad I'm on the boundary right now,
Yes.
is all I can say. Lovely fresh air down here, a bit of a breeze wafting around, but no injuries to speak of, that's for sure.
That's good.
Careful of wafts.
Ash Barty down 4-3 and trailing 30-40 on the Spaniard serve, who's serving to lead 5-3 and be 1 game away from the match. It's a knockout, isn't it, in the tennis at the Olympics, Stu? Not a round robin affair. They have to be knockout.
Yep.
Every other tennis tournament is, so...
Has to be.
Yeah, have to be. And the ball just stymied centre wing. Don't worry, not missing anything.
Well, it's slowed down here. There's a lot of repeat stoppages. I'm not sure who's driving it, but gee, there would have been 10 stoppages in the last 4 or 5 minutes, Stu. I'm not sure what's... 5's coming off there, Howie.
Shoulder. He's had problems with it throughout the year.
Gee.
He looks in a world of hurt. There's the Fremantle superstar. Very much surfing in a hurry, I don't think, unfortunately. Nat, again, the ball's not going anywhere. B, this is a big story. He looks real sore, just the skip.
He waved to the doctors on the ground when, as soon as he landed, he knew he was in trouble. The doctor's physio straight out to him. He has gone straight down to the rooms in a world of trouble.
He did have this about 2 weeks ago. If it is the shoulder, he did have this similar problem. Remember, Duck 2 weeks ago went and had it put back in and played after it.
Yeah, he did. I did
Whether
notice
it's the same, I don't know.
Brian, as the ball again is tied on the boundary line, he took his hair straight out.
Yeah, that's
his little
he knows he's
elastic out, which to me means he realised he's in a lot of trouble, does the skip, and we're seeing it on the Harvey Norman replay.
I mean, it's well known he's got a loose shoulder, so...
Yeah.
But the only thing, like on the Harvey Norman replay, he grabbed his wrist straight away. Hopefully he hasn't... Anyway, we'll wait for the news.
It was like the soccer almost kicked him.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact right with the leg coming through.
Party's down a break 5-3 in the second after losing the first set. Pearce drops the ball forward towards Big Darcy. Sydney have got the numbers at ground level. Dawson tracks it across to the boundary. Nice little step inside to Parker. Wants to measure a little defensive 50 exit ball and does it really well.
Yep. Finds an opportunity here with McInerney. So closing down at the last minute.
Looks like he's playing Jake Dawson more half-back today. I'm not a little bit hard to say. Might be rotating through the wing, but get a lot of ball with D50 at the minute.
Wicks, half-back. Ball very, very wide. Bell couldn't quite scoop up the mark. Comes off the hands of Brayshaw, and Fremantle go exploring again inside 50. Good mark, Rampy. Taberner was out the back door, thought he'd get over the top. And Rampy was able to stretch and take the mark on the last line of defence. So with 24 seconds remaining, Sydney look like they're going to hold this little unexpected lead. They've kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter after Fremantle kicked the first 2 of the quarter. Haywood Rose couldn't hold the mark, gave it there on that occasion to Goulden. He shakes the tackle now with that chiselling little left foot, goes very wide to Parker. And Parker takes the mark. Couple of seconds remaining. There'll be no further score here. It'll be Sydney leading at half-time by 3 points. 6-8-44, the Sydney Swans at Metricon leading Freo 6-5-41 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Stay with us on the other side of the break. We're going to take a in-depth look at what's going on. We'll update you with the Olympics tours all over that as well. And don't forget, ask your plumber to install the Ream Steady Hot and Strong. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M continues to rant football.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
ask your plumber to install a Ream Steady Hot and Strong.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Daisy Thomas. Straight after this game, Triple M rocks footy.
What about that for a finish? Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Cats and Tigers. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Purchase with 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of $500. Shop for laptops, printers, TVs, fridges, washing machines, lounges, beds, flooring and more. Minimum financed amount $1,000. Approved applicants only. 60 equal monthly payments. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. Purchase with 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card valued at up to $500 at Harvey Norman.
You don't have to wear thermal undies and a ski jacket to save on energy bills. EcoStar Double Glazing will do the job for you. Our double glazed replacement windows and doors are super energy efficient. They keep the heat in during winter and out during summer, slashing your energy bills all year round. Our end of financial year sale has been extended. Buy this month and get free installation. Plus, take advantage of our tailored payment plans up to 10 years. Call 1300 EcoStar today. EcoStar, improving Melbourne homes since 1979.
Have you met the locals? Explore our range of local beers at Liquorland today, like a 24-pack of Carlton Dry 330ml bottles from Victoria for just $44. That's just $44. So head into your local Liquorland today or shop online and collect your order in just 30 minutes.
Hey Hoops, do you want to live the Sea-Doo life?
Of course, Anthony, but what if I want to take it to the next level?
The next level? You can't handle the next level.
Come on, Maroon, like you know I love life in the fast lane.
Well, you'd be looking at the Sea-Doo RXP X300, Hoopsy, my boy.
Start her up, that does sound pretty extreme.
The pros use the RXP X300, and you know what else? They win races on them too.
What if you want a tandem, Anthony? Any room for you on the back?
She seats two.
You beauty.
Find your local Sea-Doo dealer at seadoo.com.au.
No matter what you're painting, for a finish like glass, it's got to be Norglass. But with painting, there are so many variables, including your weather, location, type of finish, even preparation. So don't chance it. Call the Norglass hotline on 02 9708 2200. Whether you're painting a boat in Queensland or a trailer in Tassie, call the Norglass hotline on 02 9708 2200. Because if you want a finish like glass, it has to be Norglass.
Looking for a morning brew? Award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture is at Coles Express. Choose your coffee the way you like it, from a strong, smooth latte to a rich, medium-strength cappuccino. Be your own barista from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Without your voice box, you can't swim at the beach. You can't taste or smell the same. You can't breathe or laugh the way you always have. You can't blow out your birthday candles. You can't shout for your team anymore. You couldn't even speak
without some kind of aid like this.
Your voice box is one of the things that smoking can take away from you.
Wherever you are on your quitting journey, Quit is here to help.
It's another day at school, but it's the last place a young girl like Jess wants to be. Why? Because it's a constant reminder she lives in poverty. Her uniform doesn't fit, her shoes are falling apart, and her backpack is a plastic bag. Right now, there are 1 in 6 Australian children living in poverty who need our support. You can help by becoming a sponsor through the Smith Family. Please sponsor an Australian child.
Triple M rocks footy.
Search the Smith
This
Family.
halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
Half-time at Metricon. Freo led by 7 at quarter-time. Sydney kicked the last 3 goals of the term to lead it by 3 points at half-time. 6-8-44 to Fremantle 6-5-41. Unfortunately, Nat Price leaving the ground with what looked to be a further issue with his shoulder. We'll keep you updated with Belinda Mellon shortly. This is the halftime break from Bosch Power Tools. Extra lock tools and accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe, and extra easy. Two-man. Help me, because we've been keeping an eye on a couple of different things. The Australian women's team in the 4x100 have won a gold medal in world record time.
Spot on, Howie.
So that would be McEwen, Campbell, and Harris. The men have won a silver medal in the 400 free and a bronze in the 400 IM. Ash Barty has just...
Yeah, she's been defeated, Howie, in the tennis, playing against the Spaniard. Lost in straight sets, 6-4, 6-3.
Okay.
But she's still alive in the doubles.
Still alive in the doubles.
Yep.
And the Australian surfers did well. Julian Wilson goes through to round 2 in the repechage, but Owen Wright, Sally Fitzgibbons and Steph Gilmore have all won their heats, so they go through to round 3. So that's the Olympics. We try and keep you across that. There's a bit going on here. Now, Rossi... I'm concerned about Nat Fyfe, but this isn't a game of football. He didn't look good, did he, to Skip?
Get hurt. But on the Harvey Norman replay, it was a real close-up of the contest, and you can just see how much they get battered, those big inside mids. Like, you got 2 or 3 crunching you and driving you in. It's only a matter of time before you get hurt. If you've got some weaknesses, he's had those shoulder ups. It's really concerning. You never like to see players getting hurt, but particularly champions of the game.
Last 3 goals to Sydney, Heaney, Papley and Heaney, who is now, if he wasn't already, he's a bums on seats man, Ross.
Oh, I love him. He's an aerialist. He's the old-fashioned aerialist, isn't he? Like, he just looks so composed in the air. His body, he just has control of his movement,
awareness.
And he's got great power and leap, and geez, he's a put-together unit, isn't he? I think ultimately end up a star midfielder as Parker and Kennedy shift out of that midfield. He'll go in there, and I think he'll dominate. I just think he's a special player, and they haven't got Mills playing, have they? So they got a little bit out, but really simply, and I like what Wilson did after this hit. Buddy gave him a big cork into the side of the ribs. He's still run and carried for the Dockers. I loved how he bounced back and took
any
the contested
concerns
mark.
for Buddy in the hit?
No, I don't think on that one. I don't even think it was late. They're just remonstrating. I like it. This one's probably a little bit continuing tackle through his arm back. Now, it's probably, a bit reckless, and I think it'd be low impact, maybe a fine on that one.
Can I just say one thing to you, Rossi? When you say "and this one," when you're watching the TV,
sorry,
we
guys.
are an audio medium only.
Look, I'm a part-time media.
The punters
operator.
at home can't see it, so just describe.
Well, it's the Harvey Norman. When Luke Ryan tackled Buddy on the boundary in the first quarter, the umpire blew the stop to the whistle, but Luke continued in the tackle in the 360. And Buddy had possession of the ball with his left arm, just slung the arm back, and I wouldn't even say his elbow, just the back of his tricep there, just maybe hit Luke on the right side of his chin. But I would suggest that would be a bit reckless, low impact, no damage, $1,500 and play on Buddy. We love to see Buddy play. Sorry, that was a sharp reminder.
That's all right. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football. I just know sometimes gets to this stage.
No, I'm in your hands. You've nursed me and guided me. I like you to keep building me up.
When you sign that big coaching contract. Yeah. Now, Two-Man, statistically for our mates at Red Z, how's this game being won and lost?
In that second quarter, the Swans dominated the inside 50s. Howie 15-9. Those forward half intercepts, 13-4. In that second quarter, they scored 2 goals, 2 from turnover inside their attacking 50 from intercepts as well. And they cut back the uncontested marks. Fremantle had 25 in the first. They only had 9 in that second, opposed to the Swans who had 25. And Isaac Heaney, he was the man of the moment that second quarter. He was the number 1 ranked player in that quarter alone. 8 disposals, took a couple of marks inside 50 and nailed 2 majors. But overall, Kennedy's racked up 16, Hewitt 13, and Goulden, he's had 13 and a major. And for the Dockers, 18 to Brayshaw, 15-5 prior to coming off, and Sarong with 15 as well.
Beautifully done, Chewy. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. Directly as the siren sounds here, what are we doing?
Heading off to the MCG, Howie. Geelong versus Richmond. Big game there. And then we head back up here to Metricon Stadium. Essendon taking on the Giants. That starts at 6:10.
Geelong-Richmond, your call team. What about this? The People's Caller, Barry Denner, Nathan Noodles Brown, Mickey Roberts, Dale Thomas and Ethan Meldrum, then Essendon v GWS. Can I just say on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, Dermot Burton's got some of the best hair of a man of his vintage that I've ever seen. And it's hard
It's
not to
going
look
really
at
well.
and
I'm
have
a
hair
little bit envious.
Yeah.
Like Chew and I sitting on this time, follically challenged.
Well, Dermot is just...
But when he's washed, he's like a Bit marshmallowish,
a bit
isn't it?
poodleish. She's got
Yeah,
a
little,
lot.
yeah,
It looks
fluffy little marshmallow.
fantastic. And I don't think Derm's ever been
With respect, Derm, we
as a
love you.
fluffy little marshmallow.
Wow, he's a softy inside. Every time you see Derm, he always engages. How are you? One of the great people.
Lovely man. Amy, who covers Clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Sean Darcy took a massive mark and kicked a goal, but 30 seconds prior to that, this happened. Ball kept in by Chera. Squaring ball to a dangerous position. There is a couple of Dockers. Now comes to Brayshaw. Handbasket over the top. The big boy takes his time. Oh, no.
That was nightmares. That was 2010. Rewild Shaw.
He just stopped Big Sean thinking, hang on, I'm going to kick a major here, Ross. And
He got excited, the big boy. That's why we like him in the ruck.
Took 5 seconds from hand to foot.
Sometimes I wonder how we're allowed to go to air with some of this stuff. Ross.
I don't think I'll be renewed next year.
No.
As Wayne said, their comments sometimes are special comments.
We might take a break here because I know Duck and Brian want a nice piece of this half-time to really expand on what's happening and can continue to happen here. Sydney lead it by 3 points at the half-time break, 6-8-44 to Freo, 6-5-41. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M at Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Now, Chewy.
Yep.
For the very best of hot water, what you need to do is install the Ream. And I love nothing better than Ream or you doing live reads. So you take it away, big man.
Well, Howie, for over 80 years, they've been building Aussie tough water heaters for Aussie conditions.
They have, Chew, and they have got a comprehensive selection of storage. They've got the continuous flow, and they've also, which I know you're very environmentally aware, they've got solar options.
Yeah, and get ready for this. They've got a massive range, including 6-star energy efficiency models with warranties of up to 12 years on some of Ream's most advanced water heaters.
It's no wonder why Ream is Australia's favourite brand of water heaters. All right, the last two lines, the big ones, Chew, bring it home.
Ask for the one that comes on steady, hot and strong, and for your plumber to installer, Ream.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
Nick Revo with us. It's going to be a fascinating run home, which I think is great for all of us that love footy and love, our teams being relevant as long as possible. Anyone down to 14th can still make the 8. That 7th and 8th spot is right up for grabs.
I wouldn't write North off just yet.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Back Monday from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
Shopping online is easy with Coles. And with click and collect orders, we'll bring your groceries straight to your car at over 400 stores. Find out more at coles.com.au/shop. It's that easy. Coles. Value the Australian way.
60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Purchase with 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of $500. Shop for laptops, printers, TVs, fridges, washing machines, lounges, beds, flooring and more. Minimum finance amount $1,000. Approved applicants only. 60 equal monthly payments. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. Purchase with 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card valued at up to $500 at Harvey Norman.
Now that Season 1 of Marvel Studios' Loki is complete, time is in your hands.
When you picked up the Tesseract, you broke the timeline. Now you're going to help me fix it.
Catch all 6 episodes on Disney+, anywhere, anytime. Seriously though, quicker the better. # no spoilers.
You can trust me. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times. I'd never do it again.
Loki, the complete first season. Now streaming on Disney+. Subscription required. Conditions apply.
At Officeworks, we're always checking prices to make sure they're always low. So a Typhoon gaming chair is just $199. And a Typhoon Pro gaming desk is also a low $199. Always low prices at Officeworks.
This is a message to all local businesses.
On behalf of all radio listeners.
Let's hear from you.
Yeah, we want to know when your shoes are on sale.
If you can help me remortgage.
Or landscape my yard.
There's more of us listening to radio than ever before.
In our cars, on our phones, laptops, smart speakers.
In fact, 95% of all Australians.
That's a lot of potential new customers.
So come on. We're all ears.
Advertise on radio and watch your business grow. For help with radio advertising, visit radioalive.com.au.
Right now, Burbank Homes are offering a ColourBond steel roof as a no-cost upgrade on their new and improved Swift collection, with 10 spacious, ready-to-go floor plans for you to choose from. Plus, ColourBond Steel is offering the chance to win $10,000 cash. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. Colorbond Steel, made for Australia, loved in Victoria, trusted by Burbank Homes. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi there, I'm Pip Mooney with your news briefing. Daniel Andrews says they need another day of data before being able to make a safe and responsible call on whether lockdown 5.0 will end as planned on Tuesday night. 11 new local infections were recorded today. All are linked and were isolating while infectious.
Things are going well, and that is a testament to a very large group of people who are working incredibly hard to track, to test, to isolate, to trace this down, to find every chain of transmission, but also thousands and thousands of Victorians who are doing the right thing, in fact millions of Victorians who are doing the right thing following the rules.
New South Wales, however, has recorded 141 new COVID cases and 2 deaths as the Delta strain continues to spiral out of control. A woman in her 30s from Sydney's CBD with no pre-existing health conditions has passed away overnight, as well as a woman in her 70s in Sydney's southwest. 38 of the new cases were in the community while infectious. It comes with the New South Wales Premier lashing out at those who attended the anti-lockdown rally in Sydney's CBD, admitting it could be a setback in the efforts to contain the virus. Gladys Berejiklian says it broke her heart.
When all of us see the images we saw yesterday, we are just left shaking our heads and feeling so disgusted and let down. And I just ask everybody, don't let down yourself and your family. You might not care about the rest of us, but don't let down your family.
Want free delivery? Shop amazon.com.au. That's right. All eligible orders over $39 receive free delivery at amazon.com.au. Easy as.
Showers increasing, partly cloudy with gusty winds and possible small hail. Tomorrow, more rain on the way with a top of 16 degrees. And a stream every minute of the footy live this weekend wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M Melbourne 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Yes, the McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M rocking football. And at half-time here, it is a slender lead to the Sydney Swans by 3 points. 6-8-44, leading Fremantle 6-5-41. After Fremantle really dominated probably the opening quarter and a half, they kicked 6 goals to Sydney's 3. And then it was the last 3 goals of the second quarter that got the Swans back in business and eventually ahead by 3 points. Duck, what took your fancy in the first half of footy?
In the first half, well, Sydney clearly in the second part of that second quarter, BT got right on top. Other than that, we had a good game. But you just feel now Sydney, well, they've got a lot to play for, Sydney. They're in really good form. I reckon, they're one of the teams and... dare I say it, I was one of the guys, I reckon 4 or 5 weeks ago, BT, that thought that they might be just making the numbers up in the 8, whereas I just reckon the way they move the way they move the footy and their ability to score quickly, I think gives them a chance against any team they play.
So 11 wins, they win today. Let's say they win today. That's 12 wins, and they've got Essendon, St Kilda, North Gold Coast. They've got a really good
run. They can win all of them.
Yeah. Yep. So they're going to put themselves in a really good spot. And like I said, what impresses me about this team, and that's not to say Fremantle are out of this game, by the way, but what impresses me about, they've got just that X factor. I mean, this is all off the back of, let's not forget, Franklin's had no influence at all today. So he's the cream on the cake for me. If you get, and you got Heaney, who's the other X Factor player. Papley hasn't had a massive influence. So you look at these, they're your X Factor players. Yeah. If they all have a big game in the one, they're capable of beating anyone.
And which they have done. They've torn some teams apart. But I just like how they play. Their system is so strong. And the players believe in it. And so what happened in that quarter? Dockers were about the same contested ball, but they lost their game. They lost their uncontested marks. Sydney just work and keep playing the same way. And in the end, they get on top. Yeah, for longer.
Fife's been subbed out, by the way, boys. So he's not going to take any further part in this game, Nate Fife.
And it's a big challenge. From here, you've got to dig in. Fife's done his bit. We've seen teams have big second halves and turn results on their head. So this script isn't, we think Sydney are going to continue on, but the script's not yet written. It'd be nice for Dockers to write the script and really fighting. But get their game going, get the uncontested marks going again, move the ball like you did in the first quarter, win it out of the middle like you did. But even now, Sean Darcy not starting in the centre bounce, where he's been their dominant ruckman all year, coming out after half-time, doesn't quite make sense.
For Choice Hotels, looking forward to Jess Fox in the kayaking as well. Just seeing the course looks magnificent. Ash, what have we got on Triple M football still to come on this Sunday afternoon?
BT Geelong taking on the Tigers at the G, followed by Essendon versus the Giants.
Kareem Hotwater and McDonald's continues to rock football. Here is, of course, Howie to get us underway with this second half.
Thanks, Brian. The Swans lead it by 3 points, 6-8 to 6-5. Nat Fyfe, as Brian just told us, off, subbed out. The medical sub, I believe it's still Blakely after the changes.
Correct.
So Papley with the initial possession, sends it inside 50. Hayward, dangerous around goal, picks it up, now stripped from him. And it goes across the line. IJ Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IJ Liquor, proudly local and proudly independent.
Sydney by 3 points. Wilson in the back pocket here for the Dockers. Kicks the ball high and wide. Searching for a contest out there. Didn't get it. McCartan's marked the ball on his chest, but been told to play on by the umpire. Must have been a touch somewhere in the process. Little handball comes in here to Parker. Parker, neat and selfless, trying to give it off, but only found Wilson of Fremantle. And he's in the defensive 50 for the Fremantle Dockers. They trail by 3 points, need to lift their game. No Fyfe in the second half. That kick was too short and wasn't paid the required mark to Aish, and Franklin wraps up the tackle and we'll have a ball up in defensive 50 for the Dockers.
Well, that's a couple of times this game the umpires have called not distance and play on, which is a little bit unusual and out of context of the season.
Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey on a Sunday with your Triple M Seabus Super Special comments, delivering consistent and long-term return for members. Seabus for all is the best you'll get on any form of media as far as football is concerned on a Sunday. And now McCartan measures the ball out to Heaney, who took a great hanger. What do you reckon, Brian? Top 5 marks of the year?
Definitely.
Was the best you've still seen when you called Bolton?
Possibly.
Okay. Yep. So it's cut off by Chera, and he just wobbles it forward, doesn't make the most of it. Hewitt is stripped of the footy by Brayshaw. Now Banfield, Kennedy, Fox, Parker, Lloyd. Goes back by hands. Sydney a centre wing out of side, and Fox goes very short.
Hewitt on the wing. So Sydney just controlling the tempo here at the moment. Goes backwards slightly to Rampy. Rampy's got that much space and time. He's in no hurry at all here. Dane Rampy. Still got hold of the footy at halfback. Just a little chip sideways. McCartan. McCartan with the handball to Lloyd. There's 3 steady defenders. Those 3. Kicked by Lloyd. Back to Rampy. Rampy. Just wondering what he should do. Eventually sideways. So very patient here, Sydney, looking to find a way through. McCartan likewise goes to Lloyd again. So that's the second time this has happened. And Lloyd just moves forward a little bit with a short kick to Fox. Almost on the wing here, Sydney. And it's a go slow passage for Sydney. Fox trying to be really deliberate. So a good discussion about this. You get the feeling at half-time using the footy. Kennedy. Handball to Lloyd, to Blakey. Very casual, very much in control, Sydney. Parker, high ball, top of the square. Heaney elevated nicely. Wilson ducked under the tackle, got the handball away, and now real pressure on Sarong with a nice tackle by Hickey. And a ball up in the defensive goal square here for Freo.
You're right, Brian. It did look like a patient build-up, didn't it? It's like the coaches said, we're going a little bit too quick, making a few too many errors. Slow it down, build it up.
Hickey out the back. And again, Meek sees it across the line. Well done to the Hockeyroos. They rolled Espana 3-1.
Did they?
So some good news there, Brian.
Yep.
Building nicely.
So they've 1-2 now.
They have. And good result in the beach volleyball for the Australian women as well earlier on today. Still Sydney lead at 44-41. And again, the ball goes across the line. And the basketball's on tonight, Brian. You'll be watching Paddy and the boys.
Yep, really looking forward to seeing that game. I don't really care who they play. Nigeria's going to be tough, but just looking forward. They just love playing together. It's the thing about the Australian Boomers team. For many, many years, they've just enjoyed each other's company and loved playing for the country, and you've got to love that. Whereas I'm not sure perhaps other teams, US, maybe have the same attitude that we do, which is great. Kennedy. Short kick finds Parker, and Parker marks 30 metres out directly in front. And that's why I think we have a really good chance, because we are a unit. as distinct from being individual stars.
Love it. Joe Ingles will be there.
Yeah.
And the fellow that's coming for Ben Simmons is getting big raps as well.
Time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Matisse Fireball. Yeah, he's a ripper. He's got some really good vertical jump. Here's Parker. Parker to make it 4 Sydney goals in a row and does that no problems at all. So Sydney really starting to get a hold of this now, even though it's only a 9-point game. Consider where they've come from. 7-8-50. Fremantle 6-5-41 on the IGA Liquor scoreboard.
At 18 disposals, Parker, and kicked the goal now, so he's having a really good game. How have you rated his year, Tim? He's a player that's just ultra consistent, just gets the job done year after year, week after week.
Yeah, very consistent, Luke Parker. Second-rated player at the Sydney Swans, but you look at his other stats last month, well, he's averaging 28 touches, but number 1 at the club for contested ball clearances.
One of the great picks in the national draft. I think he went around 34 or 40, Stu. He was an All-Australian and everything he did.
Pick 40, 2010 draft.
Rossi all over it as always. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. The custard pie is back for just $1.50 on the Macca's loose change menu. As Molly would say, do yourself a favour. They've kicked the last 4 here, the Swans. After at one point, the Dockers kicked 5 of 6. What did they get out to?
I think they would have been 15 points up.
17 they got out.
Yeah, 17, 11 into the second.
Thank you. Bob Jane T-Marts. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cashbacks. BobJane.com.au. Gee, Walters looks like he
limping.
He did. I don't know whether that was a hamstring or a contact injury.
B, you down there?
Sorry, I just lost you for a second. Lloyd Meek is down here getting his finger put back in. I'm watching that, but I'm also watching Walters limp towards me. He's had problems with his left foot all day, so I'll see what the doctors do.
Yeah. Just done his
and get back to you.
Just done his hammy there, Belinda, I think. Right hammy.
No Walters, no Fife.
So this is getting difficult for the Dockers now, isn't it? Walters just walking off as quickly and as comfortably as he can as Rampy has got the ball in the last line of defence. Immediately up the middle, good ball, finds Kennedy. They open them up here to a certain degree. Kennedy wide, finds time here now as they go forward. Golden over the top, finds the little one out wide in Wicks. And Wicks on the wing, so just brought to a bit of a standstill here, but shocking news for Fremantle. They lose Fife during the halftime break. They now lose Walters with what almost looks a certain hamstring. And they are hanging by a thread as Hewitt's got the ball on the Toyota logo.
They're really controlling the ball here. How many uncontested marks they had already this quarter, Stu?
Yeah, Triple M Red Z, Ross, 17, Dockers 4.
Harvey Norman replay. Walters looks really, really sore as the Swans go inside 50 again. Papley might get a free kick here. He will from 45. Purchase with 60 months interest free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. So the Bunyip Flyer will line up for his second goal from about 48, Rossi.
Well, yeah, he's super dangerous. But that you feel sorry for the Fremantle defenders there. That ball just cruised up the field until they just lasered one to a small forward inside 50 as he comes in to have a shot here.
Loves the goal as much as any man in the entire competition as Tom Papley. Leans back on it and it sort of helicopters across the face. We heard it was windy from B early doors. Taberner just tries to massage a ball out of defence and it goes across the line.
And just on there, it's 42 marks to 13 since quarter time. So what they've got to do, the Dockers, it's okay to say that's how we defend and protect, but you've got to squeeze up. At some point, the coach and the players have got to say, you know what, let's squeeze up, risk opening ourselves up to get the ball back off them. Otherwise, they're going to be exhausted just chasing them all day.
Mundy, little handball out the back door and Fremantle go to the wing, but they can't get past the centre of the ground, really. Dawson here takes the mark and he's on centre wing. They've played with great patience and build up. Dawson very, very wide and keeps it safe, so still not taking any risks here at the moment. Why would they? It's only a 9-point game as number 9, Haywood, goes forward and finds Hickey, and Hickey marks 30 metres out low. Thought he should have got the free, but Hickey's been awarded the mark.
And here's another guy we speak about, guys that have gone to that next level just purely by getting games behind. But this guy's at his fourth. Is this his fourth club?
Yep.
Fourth club and playing his best footy. You don't normally get at your fourth club playing your best.
It's incredible. Ruckman do take time, don't they? But I always liked him at St Kilda. He ran and worked, and then the Eagles. He's that real mobile ruck. He suits the Swans game style.
Starting to get a few homemade tats. All looks good as well as Hickey comes in and kicks the goal. No problem there at all. So that's 5 in a row now for Sydney. 8-8. 56 to Fremantle 6-5-41.
I think it helps when you got one of the best modern-day ruckmen as one of your assistants in Dean Cox. I think he would have had a huge influence on him.
The ruck whisperer. There was Stephen Talbot up there for a long time. Cox did a great job with West Coast bringing them through. There's no doubt Grundy hasn't been the same since Rocker hasn't been there supporting him on the bench. It's a unique position. They need someone to talk to, bounce it off. They feel lonely at times, the big guys. They need that coaching and support, as you pointed out.
Ross, if you're Longmuir, take you back to your days in the Freo box. You've lost your best player. You've lost one of your other gun forwards. What do you do?
I don't think this is personality issue, what the Swans are doing. They're just laying off them, inviting them. You've got to say, can you just tighten up, squeeze up, open our D50 up a little bit, because they're not kicking it long in until they're all equal numbers. Squeeze up. Get the ball back off them. They're no chance there. It's like 50 marks to 12.
Last 5, and they'll go inside 50 again here, the Swans. They're dominating. Just got the feel, Brian, it could really get away from them as Ronk chases after the footy. Goes close to the line.
Was that Ronk's first touch, Ash?
First time.
Second touch.
I didn't know he was playing.
He kicked 8. I remember up
does the medical
Sydney on a Friday night, and Darcy and I called him Ronky all night. I think his name's Ronk.
But just to your point, Howie, when the Swans were going quick and kicking into them, their defence looked okay, but they've adjusted and said, hang on, they're not playing on us. Just work it up the ground. Now the Dockers have got to counter that and squeeze up.
Wilson in the back half just mongrels the ball out of the danger zone, but you get the feeling it's going to come back with a bit of interest here, although this time did well. Sarong kept his eye on the footy, got the little handball out to crowd and gives it off to the runner here, and they're away. Taberner's got a little bit of space. That was closed down very quickly. Handball went astray, picked up in the end by Golden, and they get it back here to Sydney. Parker, swift handball back to Golden, got around one, got the high tackle, plays on, sees something in the middle he likes. This is Florent. Florence got the overlap run from behind in Dawson, so Dawson with a little left foot chisel at Papley. He's 55 metres out, Tom Papley, and wants to go a bit slower.
No one's moving for him at the moment, and that's why he didn't wheel and go.
Well, he probably brings that upon himself. He doesn't give it off a lot. And he goes inside, and Brayshaw takes the defensive mark.
Bob Jane, Belinda Mellon.
Michael Waters has re-emerged from the rooms with a massive wad of ice on his right hamstring. You picked it, boys.
Unfortunately, so they've already used their sub for Fife, so they've got concerns. By 3. Get one free, world-class deals on world-class brands. Instant cashbacks, bobjane.com.au. Centre wing ball into the shadows. Hard for the CCU operators in the truck. And the ball not really going anywhere. Lloyd over the top of it. And again, the ball
Lloyd and Tom from behind him.
Tossed back up as we have a look on the Harvey Norman replay. That's a big lot of ice, as B said, Brian, on the right hamstring of Mickey Walters.
Yeah, that'll seem for somewhere between 2 to 4, I guess, depending on the severity of it. There's Brayshaw with a kick, a rare venture inside 50 in this quarter, Ash, for the Fremantle Dockers.
Spot on, BT. It's 7-2 Sydney's way.
So now McInerney goes very wide, streaming forward is Golden. Needed a bit of a bounce. Young able to cut it off here for Fremantle. Little handball. Comes back inside for Tucker. Got rid of it just in the nick of time here to Crowden. Crowden was dragged down the tackle, got the handball back to Logue, and Logue just relieves pressure back there and finds Tucker. Now going forward with the kick here, but it's a 2-on-1. Schultz kept it rolling with an intelligent knock-on, hoping that Taberner could find a way forward. In the end, Darcy was there, funneled the handball to Mundy, back to Darcy, standing start, left foot high ball. Fremantle desperate for a goal, won't get it. Florent marks last on defence.
Does it really well, did Ollie. Swirling in the very, very strong breezes up there on the coast.
Play on in front.
Glorious day though, not a cloud. So we've got 10 to go before three-quarter time here. It was Freo by 7 at quarter time, Sydney by 3 at the half-time break. They've extended that with 15-point margin. They've kicked the last 5 goals of the match. They had the Swans. And if you're just joining us, Walters off with a hamstring, and Nat Fife subbed out with to be a continuation of his shoulder issues. Rampy off half-back, down the line to Reid. He gets completely underneath it, and the mark is taken by Hayden Young.
Just been a little flurry here for Fremantle in the last 2 minutes, I reckon. They've just regained their composure a little. Collier looking for and not finding Henry, squeezing the handball to Lloyd. Lloyd, nifty little sand iron wedge sort of thing sideways to Fox. Fox gives the handball to the running Goulden. On to Lloyd. takes a bounce on the wing. He's moved it to half forward in the sense of carrying the footy with 2 bounces. Short kick to Heaney. 65 metres out near the boundary line. Heaney says, come directly at me. No one does. He's always got the hair. It's immaculate. Heaney, top of the square, looking for someone to jump over the top. Hayward went, couldn't quite get it. Pearce there and rushed through. No, Parker goal. That was saved magnificently. I think it was Golden. Got the little handball back to Parker, and Parker kicks his second, and that is now 6 in a row for Sydney, and they lead by 21 points on the IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, it's just reward for Parker because there was a big contest. I think Hayward really launched over low, brought it to ground, but we'll watch on the Harvey Norman replay here. There he's in at Parker, but he causes the contest, really hits Pearce, keeps the ball alive, and then gets the handball received for the goal.
I think it might have been Wicks that got that handball back.
Yeah, it was.
Real quick little handball, but they had presence in the air. Hayward in the air. So
big launch, wasn't it, over Logue?
Yep, brings that to ground.
And he's part of that X factor you've been talking about, isn't he? Hayward, you think Heaney, you think Franklin, Golden, then you go, gee whiz, you got Hayward, who's a really emerging star.
21-point lead. Sydney is at a game high, Chewy.
Game high, Howie, for Red Z.
Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, of course, they're proudly local, proud independent. Nice little one down there in Barwon Heads. Hewitt, Kennedy, row bottom. Pierces the ball forward. He's got a look of Brian Taylor about him. Brian, instrumental in his development as a youth. Jimmy row bottom.
No.
You can see the similarity as Young comes down the line to Chera.
Stand, Ollie.
A lot of talk about this man's future, Ross.
Yeah, and I've noticed his positioning today. Nearly all first half he was on the wing, which is understandable because you've got Sarong, Brayshaw, Mundy and Fife going through there. But I'd like to see him get inside now, though, with Fife off the ground.
Sarong, it's a nice option to Aish, the former Pie, on the outer side. Looks for and finds Tucker out there. So as Brian said, Fremantle are just taking a bit more possession in this game. They have given up the last 6 goals of the affair. They've progressed it to half forward on the outer side. This is the important ball inside 50. Big Darcy's there, but Hickey is pushed aside by Blakey, who comes back and takes a good grab.
Blakey plays on and exits out the opposite side of the ground. The kick was in the air for a while, though, allowed Chera to make some ground and, in fact, win the footy in the end and belted back in on the head of Darcy. Couldn't mark it. Big pack of players there, admittedly. Little squeezing handball, found row bottom. Nifty little kick out the side door here to Ronk. Funny little flick, sort of handball pass style thing to half back. And once again, Sydney now progress forward through Kennedy. Kennedy just forward of the wing. Hammers the ball inside 50. Franklin has had a quietish day. Goes over the line now to bounds in the forward pocket here for Sydney. Blakey down behind play. Sucking in the big one. 7 minutes remaining. 21-point Sydney lead.
Lloyd and Sam,
we're seeing on the Harvey Norman replay here, Rossi.
Well, he's gone back with the flight, and it's a bit of friendly fire there from McCartan launch. It just clipped him in the head, I think, with his left elbow. So, look, it was pretty tough, young Blakey, so hopefully he'll get up.
G-Man's got all the Triple M Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loan for the self-employed as a hurried snap out of the pack. It's across the face. Off the boot of Papley.
Doing a good job there, Pearce, isn't he, on Franklin, considering how much ball's coming in. Has he got one today yet? I don't think he's got one, has he?
Just the one major for Franklin and only 5 touches, though, Ross.
Luke Ryan, the All-Australian here. From the back end for Freo.
Blakey crunched on the Harvey Norman replay, Brian.
Yeah, just getting a good look at that now as the mark is taken here by Dawson.
There's a knee also into the sort of rib area.
Yeah, it was McCartan launched. He went back with courage, Blakey.
CBUS super special comments there. Ross Lyon and Wayne Carey on Triple M footy. In the meantime, the ball goes forward and the mark is taken deep forward by Franklin. And Franklin will line up from about 35 metres out on a very slight angle. So Fremantle will kick their 7th in a row. Starting to dominate here now. Sydney by 22. Darcy gone down into the rooms for Freo as well. Check that out with B.
Yeah, he came in under a cloud. He was under a fitness test, I think, with a bit of a knee injury or ankle.
Been very accurate this year, 71%.
Franklin.
Kick on the early crow duck.
He's backing over his own stats.
Look at that.
There you go.
Franklin comes in and nails the footy. And he looks like he is accurate. He's kicked a couple. Minimal chances here today, and Buddy absolutely kicking it brilliantly at the moment. And the scoreboard reads 10-9-69 to Fremantle 6-5-41.
And that is a dangerous sign, isn't it, for the dog? Buddy's been out of this game. It's a one-on-one. No aerial support. if that was the Bulldogs, if that was Melbourne, there'd be someone flying across there. And the Dockers typically do that well, but if they allow isolation, Pearson Franklin, he could be in for a bag here.
I've just done some quick calculations.
Oh, good.
He's up to 72% now.
Thank you, Dark. All over at Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda Mellon.
It's all happening down here. Nick Blakey down to the rooms for the Swans after he was crushed, and Sean Darcy also in a heavy hit, pointing to that right knee when he went down to the rooms for the team doctor. Added to that, of course, we have Walters with a hamstring, Fife with the shoulders, so the Fremantle bench in disarray right now.
Thank you, B. Not good news. Good news for fans of the Big Bud, though. That, Brian, was his 983rd goal. 17 to go. Was there 4 games after this, Duck?
He'll get
You'll get pretty close, won't he? As Fremantle drive the ball
finals as well. They're playing finals.
That's very true, Duck. The ball just bobbling around half forward for the Dockers. Henry, nice step. Henry dishes out a hand pass, misses Tabiner. Hickey, who's been really good today.
The fans run on for your 1,000th?
No, it's the record. Not 1,000, Duck.
Play on. In these COVID times, we'd just be happy to have fans there. The ball caught in the hands of Brandon Walker, the man from Cadinia and East Freo, and boundary line wins out.
100 and the record. So you've got to beat Plugger. He's got to beat Plugger.
For him to run on.
For them to run on. I think that's all. I haven't seen them run on previously for any other reason.
Fans run on when you brought up the ton, Brian?
Can't remember.
I feel they did. Now Kennedy by hand. McInerney in the middle to Rowbottom. Gathers it well. Hand pass put a teammate under the pump. He'll go back for a second attempt here, Jimmy Rowbottom, but Brayshaw's got other ideas. Loops a hand pass out towards Aish on the wing. Immediately pressured by Hayward is Aish. Tucks under his own arm. Somehow gets it out the back, almost like the rugby scrum, and someone just footed it out the back. Now Collier comes in. He's a desperate little man. Dishes out a hand pass. Here comes Henry. Picks it up. Did he get one high? Umpire said he ducked. Finally releases it to Meek. They're coming here, Freo. Outside of the foot job from Sarong. Didn't work out. Now Florin. He's going back the other way, Brian.
Oh, it was a yo-yo for him. He had it on a string. Did Florin. He kicked the short ball and found Reid. Reid wants to go immediately. Sydney, it's a rare time they've gone quickly in this quarter, and the ball is strong to Heaney, and Heaney will be paid the free. He almost marked it, and he's directly in front, 25 metres out. And Kennedy looked to hurt himself, his right quad then as well, in the background, I notice.
Reid's the other one that's is cream on the cake for the Swans. I mean, if he
very good player.
Yeah, he can have big games.
He stood up in finals, he's an aerialist. But I'd like to know how many times they smothered the ball today, the Swans. So that started with a Florent smother in the back 50 and just pierced them and gutted them up the middle, but too strong for a young second-year player in young Heaney.
So Heaney for his third, comes in, no problems at all. 8 in a row for Sydney. Heaney's got 3. Sydney building big, 11,975. Fremantle 6,541.
Brian, when you kicked your ton, there was 30,442 people out at Waverley Park that day, and apparently at least half the crowd came onto the ground. Who was it against, Brian?
I don't remember that.
It was against St Kilda. And I think BT was playing our good old dear friend Spud. Is that right, BT?
That's right. I played on Spud. Yes, I did.
There you go. 100 goals. How'd you celebrate that night? Did you go out to the bistro or what happened?
Listen, we're talking about Buddy. He's about to kick 800.
No, we're not. We're talking about you. I just want to know, did you celebrate that night? That's my only question.
No, I didn't.
Did you not?
No, it wasn't a celebration.
So I've done a little bit of research. When Dunstall kicked his 1,000th, the crowd ran on. And when Plugger kicked his 1,000th, the crowd ran on.
Okay.
No, I dispute that.
No, they did.
Well, what proof you got?
I think they stop them now. Don't they march around those yellow army security?
During COVID times, Paul Bugger's going to have no one running on anyway.
We're doing radio. We can't go to the replay.
Sarong.
That's why I'm backing myself.
From 50, Darcy Tucker with a long left foot floater touched on the line. And it's Fremantle 42, Sydney 75 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
At this stage, there's no evidence.
Sure, there's videotape of it somewhere, Brian.
Well, they could have shown me videotapes of holding up phones and all sorts of things. It could be videotape of anything. Florence, little one here.
No, I confirm they both
McInerney
run on the ground. You can't dispute
Young, no, I'm still. We're in an audio medium.
Ross often doesn't realise that fact.
I whispered, did I? Yeah.
Short little ball here to Chera.
I should have went to the producer.
Chera marks on the logo here, which is the Toyota logo. Been with us for some 20 years in football. One of the best ever contributors, Chera.
Us as in the AFL or you?
Us as in football, the world of football, and previously Triple M, absolutely.
Right. And you?
Been great supporters of everyone in footy, and Darcy's kick goes over the line out of bounds. 2:49 remaining in the third. A quarter that's been dominated by 5 goals from the Sydney Swans. They lead it by 33.
75-42 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Ball tossed back in. Fremantle just hanging in there. Kennedy. A chain of hand pass by the Swans across the fullback line. They've kicked the last 8 goals of this match, have Sydney. Now Rampy. Fine footballer, puts it out the back of the Bud, who's kicked 2, works on Pearce. Pearce has done a good job, mind you. Bell always does something when he gets the footy. That's a clever kick from Buddy. Into the path of the Bunyip fly, but well done by Ryan. Nearly clean bowl by a teammate. Papley's still in the area. Keep an eye out for him. Ryan picks it up. Papley's still in the area. Ryan wants to get this over the line. He does it like a wallaby diving over the tie line.
It was like David Campese.
Professionally disguised from Ryan there as he got it over the boundary line. He wasn't getting a lot of help.
Well, they walked it out of their D50. How many forward 50 tackles they had now, the Dockers?
Hickey in the ruck work, takes it out, snapper goal, hit the post. Marner score 11-10, 76, 6-6, 42.
Because they would have had a chain of 4 handballs around that stoppage of Swans and walked it out. That was the opportunity. How many have they had? Oh, they've had one. Yeah, okay.
22.
Well, that probably sums up the difference a little bit in the teams at the minute. But
2 minutes remaining in the quarter here, Howie.
45 minutes since Fremantle have kicked their last major. It was off the boot of Croydon. And that stage they'd kicked 5 of 6. Since then, Sydney have gone bang 8 times, unanswered, if you don't mind. They're dominating this game. They're up by 34 points. And Fife is off, subbed out with a shoulder. And a hamstring for Walters as fantastic Mr. Fox goes inside 50 and hits Papley. And he'll turn and look for options, but by G. Bryan, he'll go back and bang this home.
No, he's got no intentions of giving it off to anyone.
He plays on. Mr. Bunya bends it, curves it, twirls it, misses it. Ducky. 77-42. Triple M IJ Liquor scored. Not a great enthusiasm over there from the Duck on that little.
No, just he rushed it, Howie. He didn't have to.
I think he rushed it because he had 2 options. And he felt
didn't want to give it.
Yeah, didn't want to give it, so he had to rush it.
I didn't see you, so I'm taking the shot.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas you're right, professionally he should have taken his time. Here's Young for Fremantle. 1:14 remaining in the quarter here. Fremantle, have they scored anything? Yes, they have. A couple of behinds, I think, maybe.
One behind, BT.
Thank you, Ash.
But their pressures, me. Fox chase and tackle on that last. But even here, they're hunting in numbers. They're not breathing out.
Hewitt, Heaney, Parker combined to Papley round the corner. Papley looking for Franklin. Got in front here. Knocked the ball down, did Ryan. Now it spills to Pearce, and he went for the boundary line as Buddy was closing.
In the tackle.
And he's crunched him in the tackle, Buddy.
He's in the tackle. He has to handle it out.
It's just the boundary throwing it's going to be. And I don't think it's a free kick here, umpire Matty Nichols. It is a boundary throw-in deep in the attack here for Sydney.
Gee, Buddy made Pearce feel every part of that tackle, though. Really got into him. Darcy in the ruck. Brayshaw thought about going off the ground. Oh, Papley sprints through. Papley. Oh, he kicks it over the back of his head. Unusual stuff. Florence snapping ball right to the teeth of goal. And Logue is floating back and marks a metre from his defensive goal line.
What are the pressure ratings for the two teams? Because the Swans seem like they're really hunting them down.
Well, you're right, it's way down, 146, but that means 4 tackles to Fremantle, BT.
Right.
Sydney 12, and yet the Dockers have had 50 less disposals in this quarter post as Sydney have laid 4 tackles for the term.
Well, Ryan here. So we're coming up to 3/4 time. Be interested in Ross's thoughts. What would be the main thing you'd concentrate on if you were going to say something to Fremantle at 3/4 time? Shot out handball to Mundy. What do you think, Ross, in a sentence? What would you say?
Well, yeah, turn the last quarter into a game. Let's set ourselves to win the last quarter here. You're playing for personal pride. It's Mundy's 350th. He's an icon of the club. Use no excuse here. And then you give all the young players an opportunity, maybe throw the team around a little bit.
11-11, 77 Sydney, leading Fremantle 6-6-42 on the IJ Liquor scoreboard. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks 3/4 time footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
the custard pie is back for just $1.50 on Macca's loose change menu.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
Daisy Thomas with us.
I actually Googled Jack and Nick's careers, and they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Has there been two better cousins play AFL?
Ben was pretty good.
Yeah, but
Zing.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
It's Gordon Tallis here. Do you need access to your working capital? Then speak with us at Apricity Finance today. Apricity Finance provides a flexible invoice finance facility that grows with your business. There are no lengthy contracts or hidden fees. And what's best, we can pay up to 95% of approved invoices on the spot. Apricity Finance is made for business that works with big business. If you're working on a big contract, call us on 1300 APRI CITY or visit apricityfinance.com and turn your workflow into cash flow.
I'm Roy Sanderson. Maximise your refund and take the stress out of tax. rjsanderson.com.au. Go online and appoint a new tax agent for you or your business. Contact rjsanderson.com.au.
Dodo MBM plans come with the first month free, so you'll be as happy as a clam and free as a bird with no lock-in contracts. Call 13dodo or head to dodo.com. $60 fee for modem applies, new customers only, offer ends August 31.
With Trade Institute of Victoria's virtual classrooms, you could be running the show in no time. TIV's Diploma of Building and Construction can help you climb the ladder and learn how to manage your own business. Follow TIV's pathway to becoming a registered builder, learning from the comfort of your own home. Government funding available to eligible applicants. Apply online. Learn now and build your future faster with TIV. RTO number 21920.
Paracetamol, vitamin D, cough syrup, first aid, fragrance, vitamin C. Chemist Warehouse is making shopping more convenient with its click and collect service. Visit chemistwarehouse.com.au, click to order items, and within 4 hours it's ready to be picked up. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it's free. Click and collect. Try it today.
Chemist Warehouse in the middle of our street.
Have you met the locals? Explore our range of local wines at Liquorland today. Like a bottle of Two Towns Barossa Shiraz from South Australia for just $12. That's just $12. So head into your local Liquorland today or shop online and collect your order in just 30 minutes.
Need a new morning brew? Award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture is at Coles Express. Try our Arabica Bean Blend. Quality coffee with notes of chocolate and toffee, roasted to perfection. Be your own barista from just $1.
Express yourself
at Coles Express.
Hi, it's Craig from EcoStar Double Glazing. As you can guess from my accent, I know a thing or two about cold weather and how to escape it. EcoStar's new custom winter range of double glazed windows are designed to keep the cold out and warm in more effectively than ever before. Our end of financial year sale has been extended. Buy before the end of this month and receive free installation. Plus, take advantage of our tailored payment plans up to 10 years. For a free quote, call 1300 EcoStar.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Freo by 7 at quarter time, Sydney by 3 at the half. Sydney have kicked the last 8 of this affair to lead it by 35 points. All sorts of concerns for the Dockers with some big name injuries. Bob J and T-Marts get world-class deals on world-class brands by 3. Get one free and instant cashbacks, bobjane.com.au. Belinda Mellon. Hey, B.
Hello, gentlemen. Nat 5 out there in the huddle, which is good news. He does have a massive wad of ice on that right shoulder of his. That's, of course, the dodgy shoulder that he put out during that hard hit late in the second quarter. He is going around talking to his teammates, doing a bit of coaching out there, just trying to do his bit. Also, Michael Walters, massive wad of ice on that right hamstring. I reckon they put so much ice on Fife's shoulder that they had to delve into the back of the freezer here at the Gold Coast Suns and get a wad of meat out from next week's meat tray. It looks like he's got a massive leg of lamb on the back of his right leg, Michael Walters. Yeah, but I am worried there was a bit of a shortage of ice. So the good news is, though, that Sean Darcy went back out onto the ground and continued to play his role. There was some concerns about his right knee, so hopefully no more ice is needed here at Metricon Stadium.
There'll be none to put in the rosé. That's a disappointing state of affairs. Thank you, B. Triple M Beacon Tradie scoreboard supporting Sparkies with trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
Oh boy.
Sees Sydney lead at 77-42. Duck, what do you got for me, big boy, on a Sunday?
Well, Sydney, you'd expect them just to run away with this, Howie. Very impressive from halfway through that second quarter to now. It's been dominant, all Sydney from that time on. But Fremantle, they've got their two best players sitting on the pine, Howie, so I expect Sydney to run away with this and have a really, really good win.
Yeah, they got the win favourable in the last quarter. They need to show some fight here, Fremantle. Last week, they fell away. Monday's 350th. They just need to squeeze up. At least just bring the pressure and compete. Even if the scoreboard gets away from you. But it was just the pressure ratings were like 191 to 140. But there was evidence in the lack of tackling, lack of pressure on the squad.
What's the ladder say at the moment, Ash, the live ladder for Sydney?
Yeah, Sydney level on points with Brisbane BT. They're in 6th position. Brisbane are 5th, but essentially the Swans are only one game outside the top 4 as we speak.
Really?
Yep.
Does percentage come into this if they can really get a booster?
Certainly does. They're 9% behind Brisbane as we speak. 119 v 128.
Thank you, Chew Man. 77-42 at three-quarter time. Sydney in front of the Fremantle Dockers. Away we go again. Sydney with another clearance. They've kicked the last 8 of the game. Buddy's kicked 2. Gets a fist on this one inside 50. Chera's going to be under immediate pressure. Wicks, he gets a handball on it, as does Young. Comes out towards Mundy. Kicked a goal in the first term in game 350. Kennedy burrows in at ground level. Logue sits on him. Pulls it back under the pack. Here's Bob J and Belinda Mellon.
Alex Pearce has gone straight down into the rooms after that three-quarter time huddle. He was getting a lot of treatment on his left groin, so the team doctors followed him down in what seems to be a continuation of his injury-plagued career.
Maybe he doesn't need the ice.
I have to tell him there's no ice left.
There's sausages in the freezer. It's okay.
Yeah, so I'd go the fish fingers. Collier picks it up, little grab, little kick out wide, and finds an opportunity here with Crowden. He plays on immediately to Mundy. Swift handball to Chera, likewise to Sarong, back to Chera, ran strongly inside 50, a game-lifting goal, and he's got it. So Chera kicks their first goal since the 11-minute mark of the second quarter and starts in a nice way to send Mundy off with 350. 29-point margin, 7-6-48, Sydney 11-11-77.
Well, that was a really good passage of play. They moved the ball by foot, some overlap run through the court. Lovely step by Sarong, and Chera kept running to create the overlap, and good to see him get involved and finish with a goal.
So just a 29-point margin here now on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. And just watching that on the Harvey Norman replay. By the way, purchase with 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman and receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply there. Ash, where are we going after this for Choice Hotels?
Geelong taking the Tigers BT at the MCG, and then followed by Essendon versus the Giants at Metricon.
Barry Denner, Nathan Brown, Dale Thomas, Michael Robertson, Ethan Meldrum, all looking forward to that game coming up next.
Hickey grabs it out of the ruck away from Meek.
No tackle,
ducks his head just in time. It would have been ripped off. Kennedy with a turnover. Hickey, little slider to the outer side.
Is Duck still here?
I don't know. Brandon Walker, you don't often work with us on a Sunday, Brian, but that's typically what happens.
Actually had a big coughing.
Okay.
Duck with some personal issues.
Again, and the ball still bouncing around the middle of the ground. Aish. Oh, it often happens, Brian. Don't worry about him. Sunday, normally, he's a first half specialist. Ross takes charge of the second half typically. Schultz measures the ball forward. Now Blakey sprints away.
Otherwise known as a front runner, Howie.
Yes, very, very true. Now Robbie Fox goes inboard with an aggressive ball, and it's perfect. It's pinpoint, Brian.
Yeah, Papley.
The Swans can lead now through Papley.
Yeah, he got on the end of it. He absorbed the punishment and accepting the mark, but he won't get the distance. That'll be the trouble for Pappas here. He'll have to try and find something because he's about 55 metres out. Puts it up for Franklin. Gives him a little bit of a run. He was held. They worried. And Logue needed to get a hand on him, he thought, and Franklin will line up for number 3 directly in front of goal, 20 metres out.
Just unnecessary that on Buddy, because you know that he's not
going to mark
really strong in that area.
Here it is on the Harvey on replay. Talk us through, mate.
Yeah, well, you can see there. It's just a panicked free kick, really. That's what it was.
Just got in front, and as you say, low. Franklin comes in for goal number 3, directly in front. Shouldn't have any trouble. In fact, he's capable of missing Mr. Accuracy, as Duck's been calling him in recent time. He's missed that one pretty badly to the left, and 78-48, 30-point lead here with Sydney.
So Ryan to bring the ball back in. Reigning Doig medalist, very famous football family, as Ross and Brian explained to us earlier on. And a wealth of information both were on the situation.
Look up the waffle goal kicking.
30 years in a row, apparently, and the gentleman won it, which is extraordinary. Must have started his career young and finished it late. Now Brayshaw bangs the ball to open space inside 50. Banfield, Fox will be happy to get the line. He's got a bit of support in Dawson, shows a bit of flair, tucks under her arm. A loose hand pass, misses a man by a couple of metres, and will give Fremantle a chance to reload through Mundy. Looks towards Big Meeky.
Stand, George.
And Lloyd marks 203 centimetres. Goes across.
Stand, Luke.
And Fremantle now have it in the hands of Nathan Wilson.
Nathan Wilson wants someone to come at him.
Move it on.
Find that kick easier to make. No one really does, so he just sends it wide, and Taberner could have almost gobbled that up. Little kick keeps it alive here. Banfield trying to claim the mark. Dawson shoveled the handball to Blakey. Horrible little relaxed kick there by Blakey, went along the ground, and Collier marches it out of bounds. So we'll throw it in. Attacking 50 here for the Fremantle Dockers, who just found a little bit of spirit here in the last quarter to
Sean Darcy. Sean, thank you.
bash on.
I've got an update on George's he's 30 years on the top of the goal kicking list. Brian, I'll bring that to you shortly.
In the back there for Sarong, didn't get the free, and Banfield's able to hoist it high. Very high ball, punched away by McCartan, spills to ground. Wilson nudges his man under the footy, but not before he got the little kick away. Kennedy's able to mark it, not the required journey. Umpire says go. Hewitt does, immediately extricates the ball out of defence, goes very, very wide looking for Franklin. There with him is Logue, tried to keep it rolling forward. Logue put his head over it, won the little ball, got the handball to Brayshaw, in the end in the back against Franklin.
Free kick to Logue, so it wasn't quite 30 years for George Doig. Not far off though. He won it 6 years.
Oh, right.
So it's still a very impressive performance.
Must have been the best clubman award I was looking at on the membership board.
It's for the most goals in the waffle. Well done to George back in the day, leading up to the Second World War. Now the Dockers have got it on the outer side. Big Darcy with a high winder down towards his mate Meek. Collier runs in, hurried snap, touch right on the line. Sydney might get out of here through Lloyd, takes his time. Clever little hand pass. Now Dawson, such a beautiful left foot user, finds a target.
Yeah, he does indeed. In Haywood. He just walks around, kicks it backward into the defensive goal square to Lloyd. Lloyd goes wide. Finds an opportunity with Rampy. Rampy on that beautiful left foot. Kicks it inboard a little to Hickey. Should have gobbled up the mark. He's beaten Darcy though. He picks it up off the ground. Kick to Franklin in the pocket was not great. Franklin tries to keep it alive. He does momentarily. And then it went over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in again. So Buddy looking a little dangerous down there at the moment, but Logue doing a good job as well. Enjoying the challenge, you get the feeling.
Well, he was out the back there, didn't he? Hickey just had to hit him. But they'll be...
He's kicked 2 goals, the big bud. 982 and 983. Hurried snap. Oh, Papley would have loved that. But hit the base of the post.
The other thing that I like about Sydney this year is their spread of goal kickers. So you've got Buddy's on 39, Papley 30, Heaney 25, Haywood and Reid 20 each. So it's a really good spread.
Is it five? Generally, if you can have 5 with 20 plus goals, you're in really good shape.
Yep.
Hey, Chew, man, how many times has Bud won the Hawthorn or Sydney goal kicking?
But you'll come back to us, Ash, I'm guessing.
30 or so, 30 or 6.
Got a bit of doigy about it. Goes Bell. Ash, I know you're quick, but the game is just pressing on here at the moment. We'll come back to you in just one moment. Look at this. Through traffic, Chera, lovely work. Handball into the goal square. Gee, I thought he was going to run in the kick, and I reckon he thought he was a forward there for a moment. I did. Little handball come to Bell, and he shaped up as if he was going to kick it. Then he said, no, I'm in defence.
I thought he was going to run in and kick the goal.
So
he stopped and turned.
Was that Lukey, Ryan?
What do you got, Chewy?
Here we go. So Bud, he won the Hawthorn goal kicking on 6 occasions, 5 with Sydney, and currently leads it this year.
It's on his way to 12th. So, Chew, can you tell us who's won the most club goal kicking? Goulden. Parker, high centering ball to land 20 from home. Here's a big Bud. Got a bit of a shove.
Big
Wilson
plugger,
by hand.
Have to be plugger.
He would have won it a lot, you'd imagine. Hard to argue with that. Be a good starting point, I reckon.
Played a long time.
Now Sarong has kicked the most goals, so it stacks up.
Buddy's played over 300.
The outer side. Coventry would have been 15 or 16 too, I think, by my research. Is Banfield. Marks deep in the pocket. He goes inboard.
How many games plugger played?
Blakely.
260, 280?
2 something.
Yep, high twos.
Coventry 16 occasions led the Coventry goal kicking.
So is that the best, is it?
At this stage,
how many for plugger?
Yeah, Tony Lockett.
15
Thank you, short his BT today.
One person at a time.
Yeah, he's just got a bit of steam coming out his computer and his ears. Anyway, Blakely, the medical sub, from 35 on an angle. I like this fella. He kicks it absolutely beautifully, but the wind gets it late and it just drifts through for one behind.
He's a ball magnet, Howie. He can really find it, but his disposal by hand and foot is his weakness.
Looks like a wild man. They trail by 30 points. With the beard going, and looks like he'd be happy.
Loves his surf.
I was about. It looks like he'd be happy on a
mentor
wide.
him once for going surfing and missing a team meeting.
Yeah, that's him. It looks like he'd be happy on a boat charter in Indonesia.
75th game for Blakely.
Oh, that was a story, wasn't it? He snuck off down the coast for a wave.
Yeah, he drove past the meeting as we're in there. That's probably the right choice in hindsight.
Down the coast.
I should have, for the initiative, probably given him a couple of votes.
McInerney's kick forward, misses the intended target, low with a chest mark.
He should have picked him up and taken him with him.
Goes wide, and they do love the surf over there, the WA boys.
Could have lit one up in the back of the combi with him, Rocky. Right, away you go.
2. I'll stop at 1, Howie.
Boy, Brayshaw.
G-Man still working on that stat.
Beautiful part of the world, I reckon. Underrated on the East Coast, how beautiful WA and Perth is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eagle Bay, down there.
Oh, deep. Rottnest, 30 kilometres off the CBD.
You want to get lost, you've only got to go an hour out of town. That's great. Here's Ryan, had it punched away. Picked up by Heaney at the back, and he kicks his 4th, I think. Got 4, Isaac Heaney.
And looking immaculate, isn't he? Look.
Yeah, he haven't got a hair out of place. He's got none on his body. He's a real waxer. And Sydney 12-13-85, Fremantle 7-7-49, Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, this is just built off the back of pressure. Really well done.
And Aish just handballed the
Bell
heat,
involved.
Yeah. Passed the pressure on Aish. 10-year player, whatever he is now, he just put a young Logue under enormous stress.
What do you got, Chewy?
Plugger 15. 15-time club leading goal
kicker.
kicker.
Close.
So Coventry was 16. And who was that for, Chewy?
That was for Collingwood.
All for Collingwood?
Yep.
How many times was Dunstall?
Yeah, I'm telling that up as we speak.
Okay. So I'm just wondering why you look at all of them when you had the page open all at the same time, Ash.
They're on separate pages, BT.
It's been a tough day for Chew. He's going to certainly take us around the grounds to the women's kayak as well for Choice Hotels.
12 times for the Chief.
12 times.
How about Johnny Longmore?
85-40. I think we've sucked all the juice out of this particular lemon, Ross.
I just saw Johnny on the bench. He was, before the duck came in and took his spot.
And the ball's in attack for Fremantle. They trail 85-49. Chera's kicked 1 this term. Gee, that's a wonderful finish from Chera. Was there a touch on it? McCartan thinks so. I have to disagree with him. The ball has cleared the line according to Chera and the Docker, so he's got his second for the term.
But McCartan is a good soul, and he wouldn't lie, McCartan.
He's a Gilchrist style.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
If he's touched it, he's touched it.
Okay.
So I would say that.
It's back to 30 points then, so you're judging it on the character of the footballer. I like that.
Yes, I am.
Well, we'll have a look upstairs in a moment, but at this stage it's a 30-point lead.
But how would he know?
He got nowhere near it.
Nowhere near
to
it.
Sydney.
And that's Chera following up out of the centre bounce. We spoke about getting him inside. I did.
We're going to re-examine the character of McCart.
Hey, you're not quite as honest as you thought, Brian.
He's turned into a cheat like everyone else.
The game catches up with everyone, Brian. It's 30-point lead for Sydney. We've got 11 to go as the commentary just starting to drift off a bit. But don't worry, because they'll get straightened up with Geelong and Richmond directly after this game from the mighty MCG.
Well, that's a huge game, isn't it?
Yep.
For both clubs. That'd be a good game to watch, actually.
Yep.
Geelong and the Tigers. The Tigers, I reckon, can still get there. And a lot doubt it, but I think they can get a few more players back over the next few weeks if they can keep winning and keep themselves in the hunt. Here's the little handball out from Blakely. The madman look. Kicks long, looking for Taberner, taken away in the goal square magnificently. Sydney defending the goal square brilliantly at the moment. The kick was a little sidewinder that Rowbottom was able to mark in the end in the defensive 50. Now we've got an injury here to Tucker.
I think it's just cramps.
Okay, just a bit of cramp, says Duck. McCartan, did you ever pull up in a game with a bit of cramp and put your hand up and say, I got cramp?
Nope.
No, I don't wonder why they do it.
Outside 5. You can move.
Why do they do that?
They go off and get the pickle juice, Brian, and it sorts them out very quickly.
Oh, we'll talk, Brian. I was just keeping an eye on the slalom canoeing. Ace marks on the outer side. Comes back inboard to Chera, marks Toyota logo, centre wing. Gives it to his mate Banfield. He spins in and around. And it's a beautiful kick inside 50. And Big Das takes the mark. He kicked a great goal and missed a great goal earlier on today. He's provided with us a few highlights. He could be on his way to becoming the number one ruckman in the competition, this man, Ross, and he'll line up 35.
He's how
you reckon he already is?
Yeah, he's ranked number 2. Gee, ground level, pushes forward, takes marks, hit outs.
He's only going to get better too as he gets fitter.
He was playing good footy.
How old's the big fella?
When I was there.
23.
Right.
Yeah, incredible for a young ruckman.
Big Darcy from directly in front. It's a little bit skinny. He misses that one. Back to a 29-point margin away of Sydney. What was the game?
Good effort. Sorry, good effort, the Doc. It's really important that they've fought back and dug in here and shown some resistance because it was looking ugly.
36 Howie, game high.
Thank you.
Lloyd from fullback.
Play on.
Lex to go to the shade side of the ground, which strangely enough would be the stand side. Spun out the handball there to Fox. Fox explores to the interchange side of the ground. Heaney has taken one of the marks of the year today without any doubt. Little handball out the back here to Brayshaw. Brayshaw, risky kick, finds an opportunity with this man here, Blakely, the medical sub who's been activated. Got the handball to Chera. Chera over the top here to Banfield. Banfield from the logo. Little chip ball to Collier. Collier marks in front of Rampy. So 9 minutes remaining. As Collier, the former bomber, goes low and wide here. Looking for and finding. Taberner's taken an accidental mark. It got over the back. Or yes, he has been paid the mark, but he's too far out. 55 metres here, Taberner. Goes with the left foot deep into the pocket. Up they fly. No winner in the air by Schultz. Went for the flyer and McCartan got a sore back as a result. We'll have a boundary throw in deep in attack for Freo.
8.5 on the clock here. Who's got the votes?
The Duck.
Duck's got the votes today, and then we'll go directly to Barry Denner, Nathan Brown, Daisy Thomas, Mickey Robertson, Ethan Meldrum. And then I think we go on to Essendon versus the Giants. So she's a big triple header on the M's today. Darcy, Mundy, Blakely, snapping from the pocket. Centering ball is good. Close to the goals for the Dockers. Schultz loves a little snag. Oh, underground ball hits the post. How's David Mundy gone on his 350? The Fremantle are 57, Sydney are 85. We've got 8 to go.
Why he's doing that, Blakely's having a real influence there. He would have had 5 or 6 this quarter, giving us some good drive out of the middle.
Yeah, Mundy 16 touches, Howie. He's kicked a goal. He's averaging 25 this year.
Mark.
Wilson, little one around the corner looking for Darcy. Low bottom there. Darcy did well to follow up the ground level ball.
Got one high.
Got one in the back, I think. Might get a free here. Umpire Nichols on the spot. Darcy will get the free. He's inside the centre square, too far to score. Pops it to the edge of the square. He made some good ground with that kick. Beautiful looking ball. And Taberner has infringed, and Sydney will get the free here. It'll go to Rampy or McCartan.
Got a fistful of jumper, Matt.
It'll go to McCartan, in fact, in the defensive goal square.
What's the entries for the quarter, Chew? Looks like they have got some dominance going here, the Dockers, after those first few minutes.
Yeah, spot on, Ross. 10-6 Freo's way.
Sydney by 28 points. Sydney over the next month They've got Essendon, St Kilda, North and Gold Coast, and on their form they should win all of those and consolidate a spot, if not in the top 4, very, very close to it. Over the back of the pack, it goes over the line and out of bounds on half-back for the Swans.
And along with Blakely, Chera going well this quarter too. What's he had?
He's racked up 10 disposals and, of course, kicked those 2 majors.
Yeah, he's been significant.
Fife out with the shoulder. Walters out with the hamstring. Freo by 7 at quarter time. Sydney by 3 at the half-time break. 35 at three-quarter time after 8 unanswered. Currently the margin is 28 points the way of the Swans. And you've got 7 minutes on the clock as the Swans run through the middle of Metricon and the ball is turned over.
And can we get an update on Alex Pearce? It doesn't seem like he's come back on at all up there, Melanie. Is that correct?
No, Peter, he certainly hasn't. Nathan Wilson also in a little bit of trouble out there, but Alex Pearce, that's all right, Ross.
I'm a part-timer.
Alex Pearce went down to the rooms and has not returned with what is that suspected groin issue.
Thanks for that update.
Thank you, Belinda.
I just got the surname.
It was after
they mixed up.
It was after that tackle that Buddy laid on him, wasn't it? That he went off.
Just sometimes.
Yeah,
was that one?
It was. Yeah.
I've got to be honest, Ross. I love everything about working with you, but sometimes I just don't understand how you could run an organisation of 100 people.
Well, I didn't. I'm out of a job.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Look, it was only 3 grand finals here.
True. That's true. I think there's more to come, Ross.
It was an 80% win-loss.
Stop that, Howie.
I think there's more to come.
You know what it is, Secret? Just have good players. Have 5 Monday.
Do you think there's more in him, Brian?
Oh, Ross, absolutely.
Put a fork in me, I'm cooked, Howie.
Maybe back in business very shortly, I reckon. Aish.
Where do you reckon?
Got the footy, don't matter. Just get back in business. My only advice as someone that's really never done anything is to don't go to a club in turmoil. That's what I'd say, because it's always hard to pull out of that.
And make sure you structure a deal with
Uni Blues, I think there'd be a good network there, help with Wiesel Property Group. I think I could leverage off that.
Back in the AFL and structure a deal where you don't have to work Sundays, Ross, so you can be here with us. It'd be extraordinary, that would.
High footy.
I reckon that's possible, Howard.
Yep.
Like they go at 360, why didn't you come on here?
Correct, every Sunday.
It's more enjoyable here.
Taking a mark here on the wing, he has. So this game's petered out. It's not us. It has actually petered out. It's 29 points. It's a comfortable margin. Fremantle know they're going to lose. Sydney know they're going to win.
Very professional here, aren't they?
Yep.
They're taking the pace off Brian, haven't they?
They have.
They're protecting themselves, preserving a bit of energy.
Yep.
Professional.
Not getting near the injury factor. Reed comes off, and that's probably a protection mode thing as well. Who knows?
Well, you're right. In the last 5 minutes as a coach, you're sitting there. When they're playing that up tempo, I'd be like, slow. Because you do the soft tissue when you're fatigued and you turned around and you're sprinting. Just slow it down. Let's just look after ourselves a little bit.
Yes, Duck. Okay, little snap out of the pack. Hayward goals for Sydney. So a 35-point Sydney lead. Hayward gets it. And they continue on, and it's going to be a comfortable win for them with 5 minutes remaining in the game. I've always wondered that about players at the end of the game. They do it in all professional sports, Duck. Taking them off and protecting them.
And this side, we forget how good this Sydney team's been this year. This is their 12th win, BT. Last year they had 5 wins. They've also had 4 NAB Rising Star nominations as well. So they've brought young guys in and they're having performances like this.
They've won more quarters in the AFL than any other team.
I mean, this has been a remarkable turnaround.
So, Ross,
incredible.
That is incredible, Doug. I want to go back to taking players off. How much do you have to fight with sports science that there's still 15 minutes to go and they're saying, oh, no, everyone's got to run their, got to play 80% of the game and all that.
Just bend overrule them.
You can overrule them?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're the cocker. You get what you want. But they do have strong control. You have alerts in the box, so they have green, yellow, red. So if they're in red, they're over the time. And it actually stresses you because you think, oh, there's Buddy in red by 4 minutes. Get him off, because you can just feel the hamstring popping.
Yep.
Henry, Sarong, 35-point margin to Sydney, 4.5 to go. Henry, nice. Big Darcy, who's on a lead, like a big full forward.
Well, what's he got? He's got game sense, hasn't he? He finds the space to lead up to. He finds... Some people just know how to go to the space and find the ball. So whether he's on ball or forward, that's what he does.
What are his numbers, Stu? I've enjoyed him.
17 disposals, 5 marks. That's his third one inside 50. Of course, he's kicked a major.
And the cousin or nephew of Tim Darcy that played at Geelong. Would be pleased enough from the Western District.
There you go. He struck that beautifully, but the wind that Belinda told us about just from the west drifts it at the last moment.
Hence the connection to Geelong consistently.
Okay, 92 to 58 the way of the Swans. 3.5 to go, Brian.
Lloyd to Fox. Fox, the little chipping kick, always going to be dangerous. Mundy did well to spoil it and gets on the end of it as a result. Little left footer setting up a teammate and looking in there, almost finding Schultz. Fox was able to explore the Rampy option, found him in the end. Rampy to Lloyd. Lloyd wide. Finds little Ollie Florent. And he tops up Heaney. Two of the good-looking boys in the team. Go wide here, looking for Ronk. Ronk dropped the mark he should have taken, but recovers it, no problems. Gives it onto the running Hewitt. He looks and stares at anyone that wants to come at him. He found Papley wide, but it's near the boundary line and about 45 metres out is Papley.
He's really strong overhead for his height, isn't he, Papley? He would have taken 3 marks inside 50 today. I know they're on the leap, but he's still got to clunk him. He doesn't look like really dropping.
It's the only thing he's done wrong.
4th mark inside 450.
He's kicked 1 goal 5 today.
Well, he'd be dirty, the little fella.
Yeah, he would indeed. He loves a goal. This one he kicks from outside 50. It won't get there. Drifts off, and Darcy doing it at one end, now doing it deep in defence.
He's a very good player, isn't he, the big fella?
Yep.
Henry. Was he there when you were there, Ross? He would have been?
Yeah, I had to boot him, Howie.
Right.
Yeah.
What was he like when he first rolled up at the club?
He played good foot.
Was he big? Was that big at the start?
We had to strip him a little bit. I think he might have come in at 120 kegs. 115 kegs.
Yeah, had to strip him.
Yeah, big boy. We stripped him down.
What,
He was, he did VCE at Xavier Boarding House, and he was a bit mummified there. Like the sausages. He didn't have his mum's healthy cooking at home.
Well,
so
you shaved him back to 112 now.
Yeah, we had to strip him down a little bit. He's a hard worker.
A good dude?
He's a hard worker. Oh, incredible.
We need to get him on the wireless on a Sunday as the ball is turned over for the Swans.
Can't speak highly enough of him.
Can we do that, Rabsy?
He could captain that club.
Stage? That'd be great. Really?
Yep.
Fantastic. Sydney have got it on the outer wing. Hopefully you join us for a few more Sundays as the season continues, Brian.
Yes.
It'll be good.
Especially if it means those 30-minute intros.
Yes, that's a nice little preview. Hickey drives the ball forward. Only a minute and a half on the clock here. Sydney lead it by 34 points.
We probably should give Brownie a cheerio as he heads off to the MCG today. Is that right?
What happened to Brownie?
Brownie's elected to go to the better game. He didn't want to do the lesser game. He thought that game would be better, and so he said, I'd like to do that one.
Are they attending, or it's called at the venue?
Yeah, it's at the G today.
He'll be enjoying it.
He had a different understanding of the situation on Friday night, did Nathan? Just the one that you've just gone with there.
Did he?
Yeah. Slightly different understanding of why he was on that game and you were on this game.
Interesting, very conversational on a Sunday. The kick goes forward, Heaney, and Howie just sitting back. He's got his thongs on. He's got his one leg over the other in the old housewife sort of look. And Dawson, little soccer off the ground. Bell flipped it to Papley. Papley to Heaney. Heaney sold some foot candy. Right foot bender. Got it 5. Heaney gives a little bit of excitement to the crowd in the final minute of the game.
And if we make that technical, we talk about getting stepped, don't go to the outside shoulder. So stay on the inside shoulder. You can just see he hangs the ball out to the right. And that's where Griffin Lowe goes on the Harvey Norman replay. Like some sharp hands. It's worth watching this. As a coaching point, you say, stay on the inside shoulder. Here he goes, outside shoulder. You open up the gate and there you come through.
He ate the whole packet of candy there, didn't he?
Smelled the candy. Smelled the leather.
He just
smelled cow.
He fell for the whole kit bag.
He still looks immaculate.
Triple M Seabus Supers delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all. You've got Wayne Carey, you've got Ross Lyon, alongside Brian Taylor and the Two-Man and Belinda Mellon. You will not get better on football coverage on a Sunday. And Heaney has 5. What's his career high, Chewy?
Yeah,
Isaac Heaney
hasn't even got a sweat
equal PB, Hal.
PB.
Pristine.
What do we got? 50 seconds to get into a best.
Look at him. He looks like a wax model.
Yep. Madam Tussauds. Will they drive it down there now? Where is Heaney? The ball from Hickey. Heaney not in the frame at the moment. Now he arrives on the scene. Logue trying to get rid of it. There's Bell. Still a chance for Heaney, Brian.
Yep. 37 seconds. Ball inside the 50 at Sydney end.
Let's see if he can get on a wrap around here, just off the ruckman's right shoulder and snap one.
Pearce getting an unusual massage. Here's Hickey. Little snap, missed out the back door, picked up in the end by Tucker. Got it to Henry. He can run the full journey. There's 27 seconds. They can score here, Freo. Risky kick to the middle, not going to get there. And it's taken by Lloyd. Lloyd through the centre circle, got the little handball to Dawson, and Dawson just safely stitches it sideways, and Sydney are going to go on and win their 13th game for the year as Rampy retreats to the back end, and they are going to be a force. They've got a good run coming up in the next month as well. They are away from home. There'll be no footy played in Sydney for the rest of the year, you would have thought. But they win against Fremantle today, and they do it with ease after Fremantle got out of the blocks early. And full-time scores, Sydney 14-14, 98, defeating Fremantle 8-10, 58, 40-point leaders. Let's hear the song.
Lift that noble banner high, shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or small, Swans will go in and win overall, while our loyal Swans are marching onwards.
Yes, Sydney getting up by 40 points today, 14-14, 98 to Fremantle, 8-10, 58, 2,875 there today, as Sydney do it pretty easily in the end. Howie, we've got the votes and all sorts of things to come. I'll let you handle all of that.
Indeed we do. McDonald's, the custard pie is back for just a $1.50 on Macca's at loose change at menu. It was Freo by 7 at quarter time, Sydney 3 at the half. 8 goals in a row, saw Sydney out to 35 points at three-quarter time. In the end, 40 points. Injury concerns for the Dockers. Walters with the right hamstring. Could be a season with 4 games to go. Fife with a shoulder. Also will be nasty. Tom Papley kicked 1 goal, 5. Star of the show, though, Isaac Heaney with 5. And what are you seeing there, Duck?
Just they've put up Richmond little flag in Essendon colours.
Okay, so Duck just pointing out a graphical error on the
Duck, if he could have been that detailed and focused in our game, it would have been good.
Yes, I was just thinking.
It's good to pull something out of the wreck.
Yep. Earlier on today, the Australians with their first gold medal in the Olympics in the 4x100. Well done to the Campbell sisters.
You're infatuated with the Campbells.
I am. I got a lot of time for them. I had the chance to chat with them, Brian, and it was a very emotional situation.
Here we go. Name dropping again.
Infatuated by them. You can catch that episode of the Howie Games in the back catalogue anytime you like, Brian. It's a 40-point win.
It's been just absorbing information, watching Duck and Ross work today.
Yeah.
How long they go for your podcast, Howie?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, do you think, cricket's got 5 days to 1 day to 2020?
People lose.
I'll listen, but I haven't got an hour and a half to give you.
Yeah, a little bit long.
Howie, people's attention span's about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You could have a shorter package?
Well, no, it's a good... listen, I can only answer it one way. I get that from 2 or 3 people, but the other 55 million seem to like the hour and a half.
55 million? Is that your 55 million?
So
what are you doing calling game?
Proof in the pudding. Here's why, courtesy of Fox.
We knew they were going to come out. They got everything to play for. Obviously, 350th and not a great performance last week. So we knew they were going to be on. And like you said, a bit of a slow start, but good that we can really run these games out.
What was the chat at quarter time? Looked like your pressure rating went right up, and your ability to hold the ball in the forward half in that second term especially was first class.
I think that's spot on. Yeah, they got out of the our forward line too easily, and I think we were coughing up a bit too much, but we had to ramp the pressure up. That's the thing that obviously keeps any team in the game, and it was impressive that we could do that in the second quarter especially.
Everyone at home is looking at your big grab in that second term. It was a turning point because you had the pressure on, but you just couldn't hit the scoreboard. You must like getting up that high.
It's nice. Once you don't really know what's happening, it's sort of you see the ground and you're like, I've got the ball in my hand, so it's all off instinct, which is nice. And but like you said, we need to execute going inside 50 a bit better.
Well, great catch. Congratulations on your game and the win. You better go honour a legend of the game.
That's David Mundy carried off. Just describe how he looked there, Isaac Heaney, Brian.
Oh, with perfection. But let's not forget this moment here with David Mundy. Nate Fife there giving him the chair off, even though he's got the sore shoulder, and thoroughly deserved. 350 games, that is elite of elite. There are very few players, Ash. How many have played 350 plus?
Player only.
Yeah, that is amazing. To be in that company is just an outstanding effort. Longevity in this game, Howie, is very, very hard to find and get.
My word, and a high level of output as well. So a 40-point win for the Swans. Amy, who covers Clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. And the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots, built for long days on site. Leaderboard after round 18. Ollie Wines leads on 27 from Walsh. and the Bont 24 and 22, and then Oliver, Steele, Merritt, McRae and Parrish. This is your area today, Ducky boy.
Yeah, I'll give one vote to Kennedy. He 16 contested possessions in the middle of the ground. That's where your grunt work. He starts it all in the middle, and then the other man in there. So their elder statesman today, Parker, was superb. I thought he was brilliant. He kicked the 2 goals as well, but he just so consistent, Parker. And the 3 votes is the guy we just heard from, Heaney, 5 goals. I thought he was the difference. He got one late there, but the 4 goals were in an important time. And as we just heard, that big mark and goal, that's when the Swans really started to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. So I thought Heaney, 5 goals. You can't 20-plus possessions. It's almost the perfect game.
Well, so in the old, what's 5 worth now?
5 now.
8 goal performance.
Still 5.
You reckon? Yeah, no.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done, Duck. Well done by you, Ray. Well done to the Chew Man. Hey, Ross, love you as always. Well done to the boys in the back row. Jace,
5.
and Ramsey and Brian. And just a treat to have you here with us on Sunday.
Thank you. Lovely to work with you.
An absolute treasure to have you here with us. Sydney by 40 points. Don't go anywhere, because up next, Barry Denner, Nathan Brown and the crew from the MCG for the Cats taking on the Tigers. Well done to the Swans, though. They are 40-point winners. Next game coming up immediately. For McDonald's and Remont Water, stay safe. Triple M Rocks Football.